Next, we present The Law and the Lady, serialised in The Graphic from September to March 1875. A sensational Gothic tale of Valeria Woodville's quest to clear her husband of murdering his first wife. This BBC Radio full-cast dramatisation was first broadcast in 2005.
Those whom God hath joined together, let no man put asunder.
Is it possible, then, that we are man and wife, in spite of everything?
Valeria?
Uncle.
You are married, girl.
But it is a melancholy little wedding party.
Only the one ceremony left now, and duly witnessed, it'll be all legal. Shall you sign first, Mr. Woodville?
Perhaps my wife.
Very good, sir. Your wife. Yes. Here, I'll give you the pen, my dear.
Oh, thank you.
And there. And I wish you both health and happiness with all my heart. Now, the old vicarage will be dreary enough without... Why, what's this, Valeria?
It is my new name.
What? You've forgotten your own already? God bless my soul.
Try again, my love. Your maiden name.
Let's hope you'll never repent parting with it so readily.
Valeria Brinton.
That's better. Now, Mr. Woodville, if you please.
An ill-starred beginning. The marriage register bearing the wrong name.
Well, shall we go out, my darling?
Yes. So I am a bride. A wife. The days of my ignorance are over. And my innocence. Our wedding march. But there is no cheering, no sunshine, no flowers strewn in our path, no genial speeches, no bridesmaids, nor father's nor mother's blessing for either of us. But I am alone with my husband, and the love in his eyes.
At last, it is done.
3 days pass, delicious solitude, exquisite happiness, never to be forgotten, and never to be lived over again, to the end of our lives.
Now there's a ship. And there's another Mrs. Woodville just rounding the fall and about.
This habit of perpetually addressing me by name I find a little over-familiar in a seaside landlady.
Or maybe off to the Mediterranean like you and Mr. Woodville. I must say, Mrs. Woodville, I would have loved a honeymoon cruise like that, but there you are. I'm a single woman. Oh, not for want of opportunities, I beg you will understand that.
Oh, forgive me, Miss Tomerlin. Eustace, you've caught us already.
Hurrying to see you, my love.
Oh, well, we were dawdling. The sooner to see you.
Oh, dear me. On an open beach, anybody might be looking. Oh, Mr. and Mrs. Woodville. There's a lady.
My good lord.
Eustace.
You. Here.
What?
Eustace? Why, how do you come to be in Ramsgate?
How do you come to be in England?
Mr. and Mrs. Woodville?
Eustace?
Mother, good morning.
His mother. This is the woman who so obstinately, mercilessly opposed our marriage.
Do you know who this lady is?
I do not think I recognize the name. Woodville?
What?
Mother, this lady, this is Valeria. She is my wife.
The first expression of surprise passes from the woman's face. And now, replacing it, the most terrible look of mingled anger and contempt.
Have you nothing to say to me?
Nothing.
I did tell you before. My mother was determined on my marrying another lady. Her mortification, disappointment, it is all because I have chosen to love you, Valeria.
Why does she pity me? Eustace, stop it.
You don't see the joke?
Oh, I see you are not like yourself.
The idea of taking my mother seriously, my darling, you don't know how you amuse me.
Do I amuse you, Eustace? She pities me. And you clearly want to put me off, to deceive me. Are you acting a part? Badly? And even before we've been married a week?
Valeria...
I will not hear it. I'm frightened, Eustace.
By my mother?
Oh, and you laugh.
Oh, for God's sake, my love, the business is between my mother and me, nothing that need disturb you. The boat is nearly ready. I want to spare you even a moment's pain.
You are failing then.
It's our honeymoon. Let us just sail away. In any case, it's nothing to anybody now.
Eustace?
Can I speak to you for a moment, if you please?
Where is my husband, do you know?
Mr. Woodville's gone to the harbour, hoping to sail as soon as possible, he said.
Now, I do not blame you, missus. I beg you not to think it.
Miss Tomerlin?
I am a gentlewoman myself. I feel nothing but sympathy with you. However, I have a duty to perform. Disagreeable, but duty. I'm just returned from Broadstairs.
What possible matter can
I'll put it
this
to your common sense. Can a single lady in my position be expected to expose herself to taint?
Is this about one embrace upon a beach between husband and wife?
The public beach?
Miss Tomerlin, we are on honeymoon.
I make my remarks in a sisterly and Christian spirit, but I beg you will know I receive only the most respectable persons into my house. You will understand.
Oh, I
as a lady
understand. You wish to give us notice to quit your lodgings.
Oh, no, not that tone, not those looks. You don't know what a sacrifice I've been making for your sake.
Sacrifice?
We'll say a week's notice for the lodgings.
What sacrifice, woman?
Oh, my poor dear. I have discovered all.
What are you talking about?
A villain has deceived you. You are no more married than I am.
Are you mad?
Yes. I begin to think that I am mad. Mad to have devoted myself to an ungrateful woman insulted by her own mother-in-law. I followed her for you.
You did what?
Followed her. Behind her, like a dog. Oh, the disgrace of it. The Christian sacrifice of self.
You followed Mrs. Woodville?
And that's where you are deceived, my poor dear lady. Your mother-in-law's name is not Woodville. Her name is Macallan. Your husband's name is Macallan. There is no Woodville. Yes, your name is not your name. Your husband is not your husband.
Ridiculous.
You are neither maid, nor wife, nor widow. You are worse than nothing, madam. And to leave my house.
Our sailing master says we may be ready to leave on the next tide. Should the wind serve.
A mere 4 days ago, everybody could see we were newlywed. To look at us now, nobody would doubt we've been married for years. That wrong name, signed in a marriage register, has brought us to this.
It will be prime sailing in the Med.
I want more time, Eustace.
What for?
I want time to accustom myself to my right name.
I don't understand you.
Surely you know. I once thought I was Mrs. Woodville. I discover I'm Mrs. Macallan. It takes some getting used to.
For God's sake, what have you discovered?
That is my point, Eustace. I know nothing.
Nothing. Of course, or you would not be here. And if you could just control your curiosity...
That is hard. I find my husband has not married me under his own name. I find myself pitied as your wife by your own mother. Do I not have the right to ask why?
Perhaps I'd better tell the sailing master our plans are changed.
I'm not a child, Eustace. Why do you want to keep me in the dark?
For your own good. I love you, Valeria. I will not have you grow to fear me.
Why would I ever fear you, my darling?
You would. You must believe me. There are things it is better not to know.
What things?
On my honor, Valeria, as one who loves you. If you go a step further in this, you end all your happiness for the rest of your life.
So he speaks. So he leaves me. With no choice but to go and see his mother.
I know what you have come for. You should spare yourself and spare me.
I must be sure, madam, whether I am or not legally married.
Oh, child, there can be no doubt of that. For better or worse, you are my son's lawful wife. Whatever name he may bear, it is better for you than mine.
As she speaks, her eyes flicker past me a moment to a photograph.
Be satisfied with his devotion, my dear. It's more than many a wife receives.
That is a very good likeness of Eustace.
What? Oh, that, yes.
Who is the lady?
It is I.
The woman is seated, my husband leaning towards her in the photograph, holding her hand. How could this hard-featured, ugly creature be an object of his admiration?
Your question will lead to others I should not wish to answer.
He has sisters. Perhaps it is one of them.
No. I really should not answer this
The reason
question.
you were so opposed to our marriage. Is this the woman?
Yes. No.
Then I hate her for it.
She is not your rival.
Then who is she?
She is not your rival.
I will have an answer, madam.
Her name is Sarah. She was my son's first wife.
Oh!
As God is my witness, child, I pity you from the bottom of my heart.
I see. I am disappointed. I thought to have married a woman who was superior to her sex's vulgar feelings.
Do you mean me? Or this?
What have you been telling her?
What she should have known before you married.
Good God, everything?
What everything? Eustace?
There is an end to our married life now, Mother. Oh, thank you.
Had you told her the truth before
The
you
truth?
married...
Look at the world around you, Mother. The brightest married life has its passing clouds. When I say to her my first harsh word, what will she think then? Of Sarah's miserable death. That is what she will come to fear for herself.
Never. Never, Eustace.
Doubt kills love. You are mixing a domestic hell for us, Mother.
What miserable death did Sarah have?
You see?
Eustace,
Finish it. Tell her.
that is your duty.
Tell me what?
My first wife died poisoned.
Oh, my love. Oh, Eustace. I have never loved you more dearly than at this moment.
Thank you, Valeria. You could say no less, and no more.
If you had only trusted me before, I would still have married
Tell
you.
her the rest. You have to.
I was put on trial for her murder.
Well, not guilty, of course. Since you are manifestly not hanged.
You've never heard of the trial.
Why do you think she married me?
It's not 3 years since all the gossip of the country was of you. And when she found out your true name, I thought she must have known.
3 years ago, my father was dying. In the mountains in Italy. I nursed him.
You see, Mother, I chose my second bride more carefully than my first.
Eustace was tried in Scotland.
And he's a free man. His innocence is obvious.
There is a third verdict allowed by our Scotch law. A form of compromise. When a jury believes there is neither evidence enough to find a prisoner guilty, nor to convince of his innocence.
Was this the verdict at Eustace's trial?
Not proven.
The English newspapers called it the Scotch verdict. Slightingly. Not guilty, but not innocent.
I understand at last. The false name in which you married me, the endless warnings not to pry into your secret.
Oh, my poor darling.
I beg you to forgive me.
Is it possible you doubt my belief in you?
The record shows the verdict.
The record is wrong. The verdict is wrong.
Oh, Valeria, your love for me is new and young, but you will read the printed reports of my trial, and soon the most innocent thing I do will cause you to doubt me.
No.
If you are ill, I bring you a cup of tea. You will know they said I put arsenic in her tea. If I kiss you, I was accused of deceiving her watching nurses with a kiss. Could we live together like that?
Yes.
No. As long as you were ignorant of this, happiness was possible for us. Now you know it. Our married life is at an end.
Do not treat her like this, Eustace.
My darling, see it the way the world sees it. You have been most cruelly treated, entrapped into marriage by a man the world suspects still, and of the most cowardly of crimes.
But the world is wrong.
My poisoned wife stands between us, Valeria. I know my own weakness. I have to submit.
You coward.
Forgive.
Petticoat, be permitted to ask how you mean to prove this man's innocence?
Well, first I shall finish this record of his trial.
Nice reading for a young woman. It'll be a package of nasty French novels next.
After that, I shall try to form some conclusion as to who really murdered Sarah Macallan.
A young woman conceited enough to think she alone can succeed, where the greatest lawyers in Scotland have failed altogether.
Well, then I can put all sorts of questions that great lawyers think beneath their dignity to ask. And I shall not be discouraged. And I shall prove my husband innocent. There.
Do you mean to tell me you're going roaming about the country? Throwing yourself in the mercy of strangers? A young woman, deserted, with nobody to protect you?
If that's what's worrying you, Uncle, I'm sure you can come along with me.
I don't see why we have to make a start in Scotland. Winter sets in early up there, you know.
The main witnesses in Eustace's defence are to be found close to Edinburgh.
So, what do you believe, Valeria? Beyond Eustace Macallan being innocent.
Well, I believe the prosecution was right in one particular. The idea that Sarah Macallan was dosing herself with arsenic and took too much of it by mistake, that smacks of desperation.
On the poor dead woman's part.
On the part of my husband's defence counsel.
Then I refer you back to the prosecution's statement that Mr. Macallan bought the poison and killed her with it.
He bought it on her instruction. She was dosing herself secretly, little by little, in the hope of improving her complexion.
Does that work?
A woman will do whatever she must to win her husband's love.
I shall never understand woman. But not an accidental overdose.
No.
Poison is poison. I suppose you have no doubt that she did die of the arsenic.
None at all. The doctor's evidence is conclusive.
Then if not her husband, your husband, who poisoned her?
Helena Bewley.
Oh, no, my dear. There, I think you're mistaken.
Motive, madam. When my husband's diaries were paraded before the court.
Oh, those extracts from my son's intimate thoughts were a libel on his character.
They were his own writings.
A man may libel himself, and I believe he did. Rash words, produced in depression and despair. And they chose the very worst, deliberately, to blackguard Eustace before the jury.
You speak from a mother's experience of him. I from a wife's.
Well, this Mrs. Bewley, what's she like?
Oh, she's a remarkably attractive person. Modest, ladylike.
Sarah was jealous of her.
And are you not?
I know she was my husband's first choice, first love, before she married, before he took Sarah for his wife.
Took Sarah for his wife. Your husband has a host of good qualities, child, but his whole conduct towards women is that of a pathetically weak man.
That is harsh.
Well, where is he now? Do you understand at all the motives of that first ill-starred marriage?
Ill-starred indeed, and not the only one to my way of thinking.
When Eustace found he had lost Helena Bewley to another man...
He fell ill. He was confined to a sofa many weeks together, and various young ladies of their charity took turns to sit with him. Sarah was one.
Well, it became a little more than charity for her, I suppose.
Eustace was perfectly innocent of what was going on. Sarah's people became alarmed at her conduct, but their interference made matters worse. And one day Sarah was missed from home, and discovered alone in my son's bachelor chambers in London.
Oh, that matter must have been talked about.
In the vilest manner. The business would have been sad enough had Eustace possessed just a particle of love for her. But no, he had to save her character without even that, by the only honourable means. He declared publicly that Sarah had visited him alone as his betrothed wife.
Good. Good man.
Poor, wretched man. My son sacrificed his happiness to a foolish woman's honour.
And then, about a year before Sarah's death, he heard that his first love had been widowed.
The prosecution revelled in his diary entry.
I have it by heart. She is free, my beloved Helena.
Is free. And I am fettered to a woman with whom I have not a single common feeling. Helena is lost to me by my own act, a chivalrous action, noble self-denial. I married on impulse, just as if I might have jumped into water to save a drowning stranger. But she loves me, poor thing, and I can only pity her. She wants my love, but I have no love
to give her. And now, Helena is free.
His pen is his most deadly enemy, I should say.
Nearly did for him at his trial. But on my oath, he never, in all their married life, gave Sarah any less than all his care and absolute consideration.
Valeria, you look... I don't know, girl. You look...
A little nausea. It will pass.
I'll ring for some tea.
That diary. Those passionate expressions of love for his Helena. He loves me, dearly, truly. But he loved her before. I hate her. His Helena.
So, you are going to turn yourself into a court of appeal? Force the world to pronounce a just verdict on Eustace?
It's a grand thing to be young, Mrs. Macallan, isn't it?
You deserve to have married a hero, not my son.
I am more than content.
And you will achieve your aim by proving Helena Bewley a murderess?
If I can. Perhaps you could introduce me, if you please, to that particular old friend of your son who witnessed in his defence.
Whom do you mean?
I wish to talk to Mr. Dexter.
Oh, the last person any young woman ought to associate herself with is Miserrimus Dexter.
I have reason to think Mr. Dexter's advice may be of real assistance to me.
Are you out of your senses, girl?
I am not, indeed. Mr. Dexter was my husband's oldest and closest friend.
He claimed.
Why else would he then be a house guest at Gleninch?
Your project is a mad one.
I shall be the judge of that.
I can't allow you to go out there by yourself.
I shall have my uncle with me.
No, he won't be enough.
I was champion boxer in my youth.
Well, may I venture to ask, madam, what would be enough?
I will be going with you, to be sure. You obstinate hussy. I can be headstrong as you when I like. Yes. Put on your bonnet.
Now?
But tea's just...
In a mad project, appropriate enough to consult a mad man. So, the sooner this is over, the better I shall be pleased about it.
Oh, I should have been glad of that tea. The whole place is practically tumbling down about our ears, and he calls it a palace, does he?
Dexter says this wreck is a standing monument of the picturesque and beautiful.
And he's mad as a hatter.
I suppose we have to announce ourselves.
He keeps no servants.
Let us knock then.
Who did Godfrey? You do so at the peril of your lives!
Is this the species of gentleman you expect me to meet, Valeria?
Follow me.
I warn you, my immense imagination is in front. Visions of evils unroll themselves before me. I reanimate in myself great departed spirits. Do not intrude upon me. Goneril and Regan, you are as welcome as any she-devil children. Come to mock at me, have you?
Nothing of the sort. I'm your old friend, Mrs. Macallan.
My two unnatural daughters are here. And, Albany or Kent, sir?
Dr. Elias Starkweather, sir. Clerk in Holy Orders.
Mr. Dexter, I have brought this lady to meet you. She is Eustace Macallan's second wife.
Oh, God!
It's as if she'd shot him.
His wife. His wife. Oh, pity me. Pity me. Pity me.
This is the man in whose assistance I have so confidently placed my trust.
If you'll take my advice, niece, we should replace him in his chair and go now at once.
No, no. Bring Eustace Macallan's second wife to me. I am a gentleman. I must apologise to her.
The fit is over, is it?
I am sorry, Mrs. Eustace Macallan, if I have caused you distress. Some people think I am a little mad at times. You came, I suppose, at one of those times. If some people are right, that is.
Permit me to help you up, sir.
I am a very tender-hearted man, Mrs. Eustace Macallan. Horrible trial. Sudden reminders of that past can sometimes throw me back. Unutterable, nervous suffering. My thanks, Reverend Sir. Accept my excuses. I am a miserable wretch. I invite you to pity me.
I do accept your apology, Mr. Dexter.
Mamma Macallan, what is the Christian name of your son's second wife?
Why do you want to know?
I can't address her as Mrs. Eustace. It recalls the other one.
Who are you talking about? Sarah Macallan?
Don't! If I am reminded, my fortitude will give way. I shall burst out screaming.
My name is Valeria.
A Roman name. I like it. My own has such a ring to it. Miserimus Dexter. My bodily build would equally have been Roman. Had I been born with legs, no matter. I shall call you Mrs. Valeria, unless you disapprove.
Far from it.
Hold the lamp close, Mamma Macallan. What do you see, Mrs. Valeria?
A bright, intelligent face. Light chestnut hair and beard. Lustrous. Waving. Blue eyes. Large as a woman's. Clear as a child's.
Do I frighten you?
Certainly not, Mr. Dexter.
Mamma Macallan, do you see nothing here of that poor martyred angel?
Are you comparing me with Sarah?
What figure was there ever more beautiful than hers?
This is not seemly, sir.
What a life was hers, and what a death. What a death!
When you're ready, Valeria, I think I am.
Nobody knew her true value, save me.
Tell me her true value.
What interest can you have in a dead woman you never knew?
We should not keep the horses waiting much longer in this bleak place. Valeria.
No, you have ideas of your own about Sarah Macallan's death.
You have that motive in coming here to see me.
I have pledged my life to prove my husband's innocence.
No. No, I have not courage enough tonight to open the grave.
Come! You've seen him, and he's made a good show of himself.
More of this will only become tiresome, Valeria. Come away.
But I die to hear you. Perhaps tomorrow. Dine with me. Tête-à-tête, huh? Until then, away with it. The too interesting, the too exciting subject.
What are you looking at, Valeria? Not much of a view for an hour's drive, I must say.
Nothing more remarkable than the dust heap.
In England, we'd have all that carted away out of sight.
Tidy England.
But then I suppose there's no good reason to hide it away here. Gleninch has been deserted 3 years and more, after all.
Mrs. Macallan is right. That house is unhappy.
Well, unhappy things happened here, I'll allow.
It keeps the secret of Sarah's death, Uncle. It holds the antidote to the poison.
It's waiting. Everything here is waiting for the new mistress to set it to rights. You, Valeria.
No. I'll have done with Gleninch when I leave it today.
Don't be too sure of that. I'll tell you. Time has its surprises waiting for all of us.
You have me alone and quite at your mercy, dear Mrs. Valeria. A martyr at the stake. Poke the fire. Do.
You are one of my husband's oldest friends, Mr. Dexter.
The oldest and the best. Wherefore, he alone took pity on me. Even as a boy, I would walk the earth for him. Could I walk?
You were his house guest at Gleninch.
We were inseparable, both of us.
I have to ask you, do you believe Eustace poisoned Sarah?
I have to ask you, how do you think she died?
By the hand of a poisoner.
Helena Bewley.
Helena Bewley.
Oh, I have lived long enough. At last I have discovered one other soul who sees as plain as I.
What? Are your ideas my ideas? Do you suspect her
Suspect? There isn't the shadow of a doubt.
Have you not ever told anyone else of your certainty?
There is no evidence.
But you were there. Surely you might have found such
Look
evidence.
at me, Mrs. Valeria. How is a man tied to this chair to search out evidence?
Then how can you possibly be so certain?
Moral certainty. Can I describe her cunning? Mrs. Borgia Bewley? Oh, I myself am positively cunning. The devil is comparatively, but Helena Bewley is superlatively cunning.
She wrote to Eustace, informing him that she would be in Edinburgh.
Cunning. Obliging him to invite her to Gleninch.
My theory is that with her husband dead...
Yes, who can say she had no hand in that? She needed but remove the obstacle preventing her from being Eustace's wife. Mind that, and listen now, for I excel in narrative dramatic. Scene, Gleninch. Dexter discovered in his room. He reads. The time is 2:30. The morning silent. He hears a sound, as of a handle turning. All doors are locked, save Mrs. Bewley's room. He listens. Voices. Helena and maid.
Take care, ma'am,
Says the girl.
That crippled man is sly as a fox. We must end this.
Says Helena.
No more. I cannot bear his pain another day.
This is the very morning Sarah took so ill. The very day she died by poison.
Yes. And the day Helena Bewley left Gleninch.
Did I not tell you how she was cunning?
But what you heard may merely have been that intention to go. And for the best of reasons. That she did not want Eustace to suffer for her presence, knowing he loved her still.
Oh, then what are you to do next? Helena Bewley is innocent. Her maid is innocent. Eustace is innocent. Who else can you suspect?
You said the doors were locked.
Against me, then? But have I poisoned her? The Sarah who was all goodness, all kindness, that saint upon earth? Does anybody accuse me? I loved her. I adored her. I have never been the same man since her death. I've wept over her. All through the horrible night after she died, I was there, taking my last leave of the frigid remains of the angel I loved. My Sarah. I kissed her cold lips for the first and last time.
But Mr. Dexter, the doctors had locked up her room.
Has she thought to have all the doors against me the night before?
And now I know.
Love laughs at locksmiths, Mrs. Valeria. I had her key. Oh, God, the room comes back to me. Her dead face rises in my mind. Where did I leave off my story?
You said you had a key.
No, you're wrong. Key? Nonsense. I never said that.
You had the key to Sarah Macallan's room.
That's it. I was telling you what the maid said to the mistress.
You could get into Sarah's room whenever you liked.
It was the letter. The maid said...
The letter. Oh, my heart. Every word in it a dagger.
You loved Sarah Macallan, didn't you?
The mistress said...
Show him the letter. You must do it.
You saw how she loved Eustace.
The maid said...
No, shan't. It will break his heart too. Stuff. Nonsense.
You knew she was taking arsenic, trying to make herself better looking for him.
Let him suffer. Let the worst come to the worst.
Did you give Sarah the poison?
The maid says... No, the mistress. Loud. Positive.
The diary will hang him. I won't have him hanged. But it doesn't matter. We can get him off anyway.
Dexter is a master of defence.
We can.
Did you kill Sarah so no one else could have her?
I shan't have the letter.
You scoundrels, how dare you?
Touch my chair, my chair.
It's me. How dare you touch me? The mistress says.
There is
maid.
no mistress, no maid. Mr. Dexter, it is you! You killed Sarah Macallan!
We got him off. Not proven. But what of the letter now? Tear it up.
Burn it!
There is no fire in the grate. No matches in the box.
House all topsy-turvy, servants all gone.
Tear it up then. Pieces. Shake it down into the dust heap with the rest.
Waste paper. Throw it away.
Paper gone forever. Sarah gone forever.
Oh, Sarah. Sarah, Sarah. Gone forever. Gone.
His eyes look blindly. His lips a senseless, changeless grin. Mute, vacant. Night has come, and it has taken his mind.
The doctors say he is in a state of absolute imbecility. There is no hope for him.
There never was. And we can be sure of nothing until we find this letter.
A madman's ravings. A murderer's ravings. He can never stand trial, you know. I entirely fail to understand why you're wasting good money here. Having a dust mountain sifted for fragments which probably don't exist.
The strain is showing in you, Valeria.
It's true. I cannot eat. Sickness. It has been like this nearly a month, on and off.
Oh, my poor innocent child. Is it possible you don't know? You're to be a mother.
Valeria! Valeria! They have found it.
Dexter's letter.
The very same thing. Buried in the dust heap, just as Valeria said it would be.
Show it to me.
It's a little burnt in places from hot ash and torn, but you can hold the bits together like a puzzle, see?
Oh, my good Lord.
What? What can you see?
This is from Sarah. Read.
Gleninch, October the 20th, 1870. My most dear husband, forgive me. I am a jealous, unhappy creature. Always fearing another woman has got my place in your heart. Well, now I know. Miserrimus Dexter, your oldest, falsest friend, has been practising upon my weakness. He said he could prove your love to me. He has the keys to your room and your desk. What other keys he may have, I can only guess. And fear. My door is locked against him. I have struggled, but I could not bear the unknowing. I have read your diary. At last I know what you really think of me, and what you feel for Helena Bewley. Be it so. I will not stand in your way, my love. There is no sacrifice on my part, no merit. I know the man I love with all my heart and soul shrinks from me whenever I touch him. I have the means of death close at hand. I was taking it, only now do I know how much in vain, to make myself look better and more lovable in your eyes. It will not fail. To relieve you of your ugly wife, Sarah Macallan.
Poor sad, most diabolically practised upon.
Your quest is ended. There in your hand, you hold the triumphant proof of innocence.
It is not quite the end.
Oh, surely you must use it to make a public vindication of your husband.
Would that be mercy to him? Or to the memory of his wife, whom even Miserrimus Dexter sought to protect?
Protect? The monster destroyed her.
Sarah's own fears destroyed her, and Dexter's unmanly, crippled love. But true devotion, It shows in his attempt to preserve her reputation by destroying her letter. This letter.
He did it to protect himself. All his duplicity revealed in it.
And all his love. And all Eustace's failing in love.
Bring your husband here. Summon him at once.
Would that not just be to hurt him?
Well, has he not hurt you?
Your duty as a wife demands you prove his innocence. Not to mention this quest in which you've dragged me half across the country.
I am well aware of my duty, Uncle. But no. I will wait.
Why, Valeria? In God's name.
I have said I will wait.
You are both so beautiful. Let me once more ask you to forgive what I said, what I did before.
You ask it every day. And I forgive you every day.
Have you got the letter here?
Yes.
Still sealed up?
Oh, don't talk of reading it, my darling. Spare yourself the pain.
I am not thinking of myself. I can leave the letter sealed. Give up the vindication of my innocence in my own lifetime. And if I do, Valeria, would you say I should be acting with mercy and tenderness towards my dead wife?
There cannot be the shadow of doubt.
Novel The Haunted Hotel was serialized from June to November 1878 and is a powerful combination of ghost story and detective mystery. This BBC Radio full-cast dramatisation was first broadcast in 2012.
The Haunted Hotel by Wilkie Collins, dramatised for radio by Rod Beecham.
Excuse me, it's so terribly crowded. Would you mind if I shared your table?
Oh, not at all. Please, feel free to do so.
Thank you. Adele gives wonderful tea parties, but she does tend to ask half of London. I don't think we've met, have we?
Not to my knowledge, no.
My name is Agnes Lockwood. And you are...
You are Agnes Lockwood.
Yes.
And you pretend not to know who I am?
I'm terribly sorry. Should I know you?
I am the Contessa Naronna.
I see. I had no idea.
Oh, you must hate me.
Of course I don't hate you. No, really. It was made quite clear. I'm aware that you knew nothing of my situation.
Will you believe me that when I discovered the truth, I tried to convince him to honor his obligations?
Of course I believe you. But it would have made no difference. No woman would want to spend her life with a man who clearly wishes to spend it with someone else. However, in the circumstances, I'm sure it would be better for both of us.
Oh, wait. Please. Can I ask you to do something for me? Let me see your face.
If you insist.
If you would just lift your veil for a moment. Is that too much to ask?
Of course not. There. My face. For what it's worth.
Oh, my evil angel.
What? What is it? Contessa, can somebody help me, please?
What's the matter, miss?
This lady, I think she's fainted. Can you get me some smelling salts?
Oh.
Agnes, whatever's happened?
Oh, Adele, I don't know. She wanted to look at my face.
Your face?
And then she fainted. But her expression, I've never seen anyone look so frightened.
Come in.
There's a lady, sir. She insists on seeing you.
Does she indeed? Well, she can insist as much as she likes. I've had a trying day, and as soon as I've finished these notes, I intend to spend a quiet evening at my club.
She's a countess, Doctor.
I don't care if it's Her Majesty herself. Tell her she can come back in the morning.
It may be too late in the morning.
Madam, you can't just walk in.
Dr. Wybrow, you have the reputation of being the sort of man who never runs away from a challenge.
Do I indeed?
So I simply want you to answer one straightforward question.
And what is that?
Whether or not I am going mad.
Madam, I think you have been given an exaggerated notion of my abilities.
All I ask is 5 minutes of your time to tell you my story and to hear your opinion.
All right, Robert, you may leave us.
Well, if you're sure, Doctor.
Quite sure. Very well, madam. You have my full attention.
Oh, Doctor, this afternoon I met someone. Someone I had unintentionally wronged. A young Englishwoman who had been engaged to the man I am going to marry. A woman of whose existence I give you my word. I had been totally unaware until after I had agreed to become his wife.
I see.
Indeed, when I discovered the truth, I insisted that he honored his obligation. But then he showed me a letter from the woman herself. A noble, high-minded letter releasing him from his promises. But also one that made it clear, gently but firmly, that there was no hope under any circumstances of ever renewing their relationship.
Go on.
He appeals to my compassion. You know what women are. I was too soft-hearted, and we are to be married this very week.
I can see this has been very distressing for all parties, Contessa. But you spoke of madness.
This afternoon, as I say, I met her by chance. We exchanged a few words. And then, I don't know why, I was seized with a need to study her face, to look into her eyes. But when I looked into them, I felt a terror that I have never felt in the whole of my life.
A terror of what exactly?
Retribution. I felt at that moment she knew I was going to commit some dreadful crime, and that she would make me pay for it.
And then?
I fainted. And when I recovered, she was gone. Well, tell me, am I mad?
I think the best explanation I can offer is that you feel some sense of understandable guilt towards this woman, which you have tried to rationalize but can't. And that when you met her, it transformed itself into this irrational sense of foreboding.
Oh, no.
The mind is a strange organ, madam, which we're only just beginning to understand.
Oh, is that the best you can do, Doctor? Oh, then, I really am doomed.
Wybrow, you're very late this evening. I'd just about given you up.
I was unexpectedly detained by a lady.
Really? Well, do sit down and tell me about it, always assuming it's fit for my tender ears.
Waiter, bring me a large whiskey, will you?
Yes, Doctor. Obviously, the ladies put you through it.
Tell me, have you ever heard of the Contessa Nerona? I take it that means you have.
And am I to take it that you're the only man in London who hasn't? What a sheltered life you doctors lead.
Certainly. I pay very little attention to casual gossip.
Was it the Contessa in person who detained you?
An extraordinary woman. Fascinating and utterly repellent. As pale as death. And her eyes. At once the cruelest I've ever seen and the saddest. What do you know of her?
A great deal, and none of it to the lady's credit. But as you say, you're not partial to casual gossip.
I think it would be fair to say that in this instance my interest is professional.
Of course. Well, they say she was in fact never married to the Count whose widow she claims to be, that she narrowly escaped being implicated in a poisoning trial in Vienna, that she was a spy for the Austrians in Milan, and that the man she claims is her brother isn't really her brother at all.
What man is this?
Your whiskey, sir?
Ah, thank you.
He calls himself Baron Rivard. Word has it that he's a gambler at every table on the continent, and that most recently Milady herself had to flee Paris under the accusation of running an illegal gambling salon.
But I don't understand. What man of any sense or breeding would break off his engagement to marry such a woman? Would I have heard of him?
That depends if the name Montbarry means anything to you.
You're not serious.
Never more so. Herbert John Westwick, 1st Baron Montbarry of Montbarry, King's County, Ireland. That's the fish your Contessa has landed for herself.
But the man must be mad.
That's the kindest way of looking at it.
Oh, Henry, I'm so sorry. I'd no idea you were there.
Don't distress yourself, Carstairs. Nothing you can say about my brother that would offend me. Unless, of course, you were foolish enough to try and defend him.
It's a sad business, certainly.
It's a vile business. The way my brother has treated Agnes is vile, beyond belief. There's no other way of putting it.
Quite. Will you join us, Henry?
Oh, if I'm not intruding.
No, of course not. Wybrow, this is Henry Westwick, Montbarry's youngest brother.
How do you do?
Except that he is no longer my brother. I told him so to his face.
The thing is, Wybrow has just come hot-foot from an interview with the lady herself, the so-called Contessa.
Really? May I ask what you made of her, Doctor?
I found her to be a very troubled woman.
I'm delighted to hear it. She's caused enough trouble for others.
Yes, but to be fair, well, you know women. They go where their hearts lead them.
Always assuming they have a heart?
No, but I mean, she's hardly marrying him for his money. The estate is entailed, surely. I mean, if anything happened to Montbarry, she wouldn't see a penny of it.
Not of the estate, no. But I happened to learn only this morning that my brother, the Montbarry, has insured his life in her favour for the sum of £10,000.
Sounds like Montbarry's walked into a hornet's nest.
Well, he only has himself to blame. After the way he's treated poor Agnes, he deserves anything that happens to him. Now, if you'll excuse me, gentlemen.
Yes, of course, pleasure to me.
Oh, poor young devil.
He certainly seems passionate about his brother's behaviour.
No. He's in love with the girl himself.
With Miss Lockwood?
Yes. Well, they're cousins, you know. Agnes practically grew up with Herbert, Henry and Francis. He's the middle brother, next in line to the title. And Henry's been sweet on her since they were children. Rumour has it Henry even proposed to her.
But she preferred the eldest brother.
Agnes felt about Montbarry the way Henry feels about her. Maybe even more passionately. Montbarry and your Contessa between them, they broke Agnes's heart.
Yes, Megan, what is it?
It's Master Henry, Miss Agnes. Wondering if he might have a word with you.
I'm not sure if at the moment...
He's going away, miss. He wants to say goodbye before he leaves.
All right. Show him in.
Agnes, my dear, Oh, I'm sorry. I've come at a bad moment. You're burning his letters?
You've come at exactly the right moment, Henry. This is the very last one. Oh, there. That's done. Now that they're actually married, it seemed appropriate somehow.
Agnes?
Did you go to the church?
Of course I didn't. How could you even think it? None of the family went.
Not even Francis?
Well, Francis least of all. He feels even more contempt for Herbert than I do. And even if he wanted to, do you think Susanna would have let him?
Oh, Susanna is a dear. She's just written, in fact, asking me to go and stay with the family.
Shall you go?
I think so. It will help me take my mind off. I understand Montbarry and the Contessa went abroad the day after the marriage.
Because no decent person would look them in the face. I think they're in Italy somewhere. They could be in hell for all I care. Forgive me.
And now Megan tells me you're going abroad.
I'm out of spirits, Agnes. I want a change. Besides, if I stayed here, there are things I might say to you that probably better left unsaid. For the moment, anyway.
Excuse me, miss, I'm sorry to disturb, but little Mrs. Ferrari is here, wondering if she might say a few words to you.
Of course. Henry, you remember Emily Bidwell, my favourite pupil at the village school. She married an Italian courier named Ferrari, but I'm afraid it hasn't turned out very well. Do you mind my having her in for a minute?
I'd be happy to see her some other time. I think probably it's best if I say goodbye.
As you wish. Take care of yourself, Henry.
This way, sir. Don't be downhearted, Mr. Henry. Try her again when you come back.
Well, Emily, what can I do for you?
I'm afraid to tell you, miss.
Afraid? Have I become some sort of dragon? Is it your husband who's making you afraid?
No, miss. In his own way, he's devoted to me and the children, but he has got a temper on him, especially if he's not working.
But didn't you tell me he had an engagement to take some ladies to Italy?
That fell through, miss. And it's left him last in the queue for any more work that's going.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
The thing is, miss, if he could be privately recommended...
Oh, I see.
Because a letter inquiring for a good courier came to the office this morning. 6 months at least, travelling through Italy and then staying on in Venice. Only there are other people ahead of Mr. Ferrari. But if he could send off his testimonials with a special recommendation from you, it might just turn the scales.
Why, yes, of course. Who are the people concerned? Emily?
Oh, I'm ashamed to tell you, miss.
What on earth do you mean?
It's Lord Montbarry.
Emily! How could you?
Oh, I'm sorry, miss. Oh, I beg your pardon. I'm not quite as bad as you think me, but I beg your pardon all the same.
No, wait. You must have been desperate to have dared to ask this of me.
Oh, money's getting very short, miss. Ferrari's temper's getting shorter. And there are the children. But I expect we'll manage.
No. You're right, Emily. It's not really such a terrible thing to ask.
Oh, God bless you, miss.
Must you really go back to London tomorrow, Agnes?
Susanna, I really must. There are things I have to do.
We'll all miss you, especially the children. You've been here no time at all.
I've been here a good 3 months, Susanna. I can't trespass on your charity any longer.
Nonsense. There's no question of charity. Or if there is, we're the ones on the receiving end.
Whatever do you mean?
The children absolutely adore you. In fact, Francis and I were discussing it only last night, and we were saying... No, you'd probably be offended.
Susanna, what are you trying to say?
We were wondering what you would think of formalising the arrangement, becoming the children's official governess. There, now I have offended you.
No, you haven't. Not in the least. I think it's a wonderful idea.
Really? Then you'll do it.
Can I think about it? Just for a week or two.
Oh, please do. Please do. And you know what travellers we are. I promise you, you'll see the world.
Oh, Miss Agnes. Thank heavens you're back.
Megan, whatever is the matter?
It's little Mrs. Ferrari. She's been here all day waiting for you. She's in a dreadful state, dreadful.
Emily?
Oh, miss, whatever could have happened to him?
I don't understand. Happened to whom?
My husband.
It's Ferrari, Miss Agnes. He's left Lord Montbarry without a word of warning. And nobody knows what's become of him.
Who told you this?
The courier's office, miss.
The secretary himself. Calm yourself, Emily. I'm sure there's some perfectly reasonable explanation.
What explanation could there be, miss? I know he's not always the best of men, but to walk away from his employers without a word... Why would he do such a thing?
Was there nothing in his letters that might give you some sort of explanation?
Not really, miss. I have them all here. The last one, perhaps. It made me feel uneasy when I read it, but it still doesn't explain anything.
May I?
Of course, miss. Maybe you'll see something I couldn't.
Dear Emily, more of my lord's economy. Instead of going to a hotel, we have hired a damp...
Instead of going to a hotel, we have hired the damp, rambling old palace. Apparently, it comes cheaper for a 2-month term. My lord tried to get it for longer. He says the peace of Venice is good for his nerves. But a foreign speculator has acquired the palace and is going to turn it into a hotel. The Baron is still with us. He and his lordship seem to disagree more and more with every passing day. What about exactly I couldn't say, but it seems to be to do with money. And it's had a bad effect on Milady as well. She was much nicer before the Baron arrived. The result is Lord Montbarry shuts himself up in his own room with his books and sees as little of his wife and the Baron as possible. The thing is, I've heard the rumours that the Baron and Milady are something quite different from the brother and the sister they claim to be. If my lord's suspicions are once awakened, the consequences will be terrible. However, the pay is good, and I cannot afford to talk of leaving.
You see, miss? He can't afford to talk of leaving, and yet within a week of writing that letter, he just ups and walks out. At least, that's what she says.
She?
The so-called Contessa. That's what she wrote to the courier's office.
But you think she's lying?
Oh, I don't know what to think. Oh, miss, what should I do?
It's Mr. Henry, miss.
Ah, Henry! How wonderful! Just the person I wanted to see.
Agnes.
In fact, I was just writing to you. I very much need your advice.
My advice?
About Emily. Mrs. Ferrari. Something very strange has... Henry? What is it?
I have some news. Bad news, I suppose. Yes, even in the circumstances, it's very bad news. Montbarry is dead.
Dead? Herbert is dead?
I'm afraid so, yes.
But when? How?
Bronchitis.
But Herbert's never suffered from bronchitis.
Apparently it came on very suddenly. I don't know very much about it, but it seems he had a most able physician in attendance, a Dr. Bruno. But there was nothing he or anyone else could do.
I see.
I'm so sorry.
In a sense, he was dead to me already. I would never have seen him again in this life. Oh. I think perhaps I should lie down for a little.
Of course. Megan? Megan?
Whatever is it?
Could you help her to bed?
He's dead. Lord Montbarry. Herbert is dead.
Oh, my poor, poor lamb.
How is she?
Oh, she'll be all right, sir. I've given her one of my sleeping draughts.
Is there anything I can do?
No, not at the moment, sir. But come back in the morning. She'll be needing you. What on earth is that? Emily.
Where's Miss Agnes? I have to see her.
Well, you can't. She's sleeping.
Emily? What's all this about?
Oh, sir, they've killed him.
What? Who are you talking about?
That Contessa and her Baron's so-called brother. They've murdered him.
Lord Montbarry?
No, my husband. The pair of them had done away with Mr. Ferrari. There's no other explanation.
What on earth makes you say that?
Because of this. It came in the post this morning. A cheque made out in my name for £1,000.
No.
And this is the note that came with it.
To console you for the loss of your husband.
You see, sir, it's blood money. What else can it be?
Are you sure you want to talk about this, Agnes? Perhaps you shouldn't excite yourself.
But what on earth can it mean? Who can have sent it?
Well, this is the thing. We know that now. Emily made inquiries at the insurance company. It was my brother.
Herbert? He sent the money.
So it would appear. The doctor, Dr. Bruno. Apparently Herbert placed it into his hands with urgent instructions to put it in the post immediately.
But why would he do that? I don't understand.
Neither does anyone else. Well, perhaps Emily will find out the truth. She's gone to see the Contessa.
The Contessa is in England?
In London, at Norbury's Hotel. She arrived yesterday.
But why has she come back?
Why do you think? To collect the £10,000 that became due to her on my brother's death.
What is it you want from me?
It's very simple, me lady. I come to acknowledge the receipt of the money sent to Ferrari's widow.
Are you mad or drunk?
I'm no more mad or drunk than you are, my lady.
Then you are only insolent, like so many of your countrymen.
My lady...
You walk in here. You mention the name of a courier who left us very strangely. Are you his wife?
I'm not his wife. I'm his widow, as you very well know. Oh, it was an evil hour when Miss Lockwood recommended my poor husband to be his lordship's courier.
What did you say?
I said it was an evil hour.
Liar! You liar! Tell me that you're lying, or I swear to God I'll strangle you with my own hands.
I don't.
Tell me that you lied when you used Miss Lockwood's name just now. Oh, no. That's no good. I wouldn't believe you now if you swore it under oath. I'll believe no one but the woman herself. Where does she live? Tell me where she lives, you noxious little insect.
It's her, miss.
Who?
The Contessa. She says she has to talk to you at once.
What impertinence! Tell her to go to the devil.
No, Megan, wait. Show her in.
Agnes?
She may have some explanation about Ferrari. I want to hear what she has to say.
Forgive me, Miss Lockwood. I know you have no desire to lay eyes on me, but I have to ask you one simple question.
Have you indeed?
A question which no one can answer but Miss Lockwood. When the courier Ferrari applied to my late husband for employment, did you permit Ferrari to make sure of being chosen as our courier by using your name?
I have known Ferrari's wife for many years. Yes.
There you are, madam. You've received your answer.
I have received my sentence.
Just one moment, Contessa. I have answered your question. Now, will you answer one of mine?
If I can.
You have spoken of Ferrari. No trace of him has been found anywhere in England. Have you any news of him?
You will know what has become of Ferrari when the time is ripe.
What do you mean?
Someone will tell you.
Perhaps your ladyship will be the person.
Perhaps I will if...
If what?
If Miss Lockwood forces me to it.
How can I do that? Do you mean to say my will is stronger than yours?
When I took your hero from you and blighted your life, you were made the instrument of retribution for my sins. I am certain of it. Such things have happened before. One person has been the means of innocently ripening the growth of evil in another.
Henry, do you understand what she's saying?
There's nothing easier. She knows perfectly well what has become of Ferrari, and she's simply trying to confuse you with a cloud of nonsense.
You must make allowances for women, Mr. Westwick. We all talk nonsense. So goodbye, Miss Lockwood. We shall meet again, either here in England or in Venice, where my husband died. And it will be for the last time.
Do you think she is mad?
I think she is simply wicked. I believe she came here to enjoy the luxury of frightening you.
She has frightened me.
I'm anxious about you, Agnes. If I hadn't been here, who knows what that vile woman might have said or done.
It's all right, Henry.
Now, Agnes, please, listen, I can't bear the thought of you spending your life alone and unprotected, especially after what's happened today.
I don't need protecting, Henry.
Of course you do. All women need protection. And you must know how I've always dreamed of being the one who does protect you.
Please, Henry, don't.
Have I offended you?
Of course not. And I know how you feel, Henry. And of course I'm touched and grateful, but...
But you don't return my feelings.
It's too soon, Henry. It's too soon to know what I feel. About anything.
I'm sorry, I've been very clumsy.
I know you're only concerned for my well-being. But I can set your mind at rest about that at least. For the next year, I shall be well looked after.
Oh, by whom?
By none other than your brother Francis and my oldest friend in the world, Susanna.
You're going to live with him?
Oh, I shall earn my keep, Henry. I shall spend my time as governess to their delightful children.
Yes, but...
It will give me time to think, Henry. To recover. To sort out the jumble in my poor, confused head.
When you say sort it out...
Please, Henry. I've no idea what I'll be feeling a year from now. I'm not saying things will be different, and I'm not saying they won't be either. I know it isn't fair, but it is the best I can do.
All right, then. A year it is.
Francis? Francis!
Good Lord, Henry! Is it really you?
It's really me, big brother.
But I had no idea you were in Paris.
I wasn't, until an hour ago. I've just got off the train.
Well, well. But what are you doing here?
What do you think? Come to see my nieces and nephews. Haven't laid eyes on them for over a year.
I see. Well, touching as this display of avuncular devotion undoubtedly is, you're sure it isn't their governess you've come to see?
Well, Agnes, too, of course. How is she?
As sweet and charming as ever.
But has she recovered to any degree?
You'd better come back to the hotel. Perhaps the sight of you will put some colour in her cheeks.
Agnes, are you busy?
Not in the least. Simone has taken the children to the Tuileries and I'm doing my best to correct their mathematics.
Good. I've timed it perfectly. I have a surprise for you.
Henry!
He arrived in Paris this very morning.
Agnes, it's wonderful to see you again.
Well, I'll leave you to it. I have various things I must attend to.
So, Agnes, how are you?
As you see me, Henry, how do I appear to you?
Not terribly happy, I must say.
No.
I thought with all the time that's gone by, you might have come into a different frame of mind.
Did you? Well, I'm sorry to have to disappoint you.
Agnes!
Henry, when I see you, it reminds me of everything I've suffered. Can't you see? It's left its mark on me for life.
I swear, Francis, I'll never understand women, as long as I live.
You must give her time, Henry.
Time? I've given her a whole year.
It's true, Francis. I thought that being with us and the children would help her to take a more positive attitude.
She seems to feel the loss of Montbarry as though he died faithful to her. She mourns him in a way that none of us does.
Even if he was unworthy of her, he was still the man of her choice. It's in her nature to be faithful to his memory. I don't know, Henry. Perhaps things will change when we get to Venice.
Venice?
It's our next port of call. We're going to try out this wonderful new hotel everyone's talking about, the Palace.
Perhaps the change will have a beneficial effect on Agnes.
For heaven's sake, Herbert died in Venice. It will only make matters worse.
Or it might bring things to a head, enable her to say goodbye to him once and for all. Henry, I've just had the most wonderful idea. Why don't you come with us to Venice?
What? That's an excellent idea. Why don't you do that, little brother? Stay here for the next couple of weeks and then we can all travel together. The idea doesn't seem to appeal.
No, it's not that, is it? Just, I don't think Agnes would relish my company at the moment. I seem to irritate her, to say the least of it. I think it's wiser if I make my farewells.
All right, then. You leave. Go on to Venice ahead of us. And meanwhile, I'll use all my best efforts on Agnes, try and convince her she's done her duty by Montbarry's memory and that it's time she was free to think about her own happiness. By the time we join you, she might be in a different frame of mind. What do you think?
Your cigar, signore.
Thank you.
Can I fetch you anything else?
No, that's all. Thank you.
It's a lovely night, isn't it, signore?
Yeah, certainly is. Lovely night in a lovely city.
Good night, signore.
Good night.
Oh.
Hello? Who's there? You?
Mr. Westwick. For a moment, I couldn't believe it.
Contessa, what are you doing in Venice? I heard you and your brother had gone to America.
Oh, you heard correctly. May I sit down?
I'm smoking a cigar.
I like cigars.
Well, sit down then. I can't stop you.
Thank you.
So I take it you lost your appetite for things American?
I lost more than my appetite. I lost my companion.
Oh, I see. He found more congenial company? Another sister, perhaps?
He died.
Oh, dear. Shot to death in a gambling saloon?
My brother died no extraordinary death, Mr. Westwick. He sank with many other unfortunate wretches under a fever prevalent in a city we happened to be visiting.
And now you've returned to Venice, in spite of what must surely be unhappy memories.
Yes. I couldn't help myself.
Whatever do you mean?
If I had a will of my own, I would never have set foot in Venice. I hate the wretched city. But here I am. Tell me, when does Miss Lockwood arrive?
How the devil did you know Agnes was coming here?
Let's say that I guessed it.
And do you know why?
I've no idea what the superficial reason may be. I only know that we are to meet. By chance, by destiny, call it whatever you like.
Chance seems to have a queer way of bringing the meeting about. We've arranged to stay at the Palace Hotel. Your name is not on the visitors' list?
Surely you understand my reasons for shunning that hotel.
I'm afraid I have absolutely no idea.
If you say so. Nevertheless, I think you are right, Mr. Westwick. Destiny demands that I move into the Palace Hotel. I shall see to it immediately. Oh, isn't it beautiful? In the moonlight.
What?
The Church of San Marco. Goodbye, San Marco by moonlight. I shall not see you again.
You mean she's here? In Venice?
More than that. She's moved into the palace.
But that's absolutely dreadful.
Well, we can't possibly stay in the same hotel as that woman. I suppose we shall just have to move bag and baggage.
Oh, don't be absurd, Francis. I'm sorry, but there really is no need for it.
Are you sure, Agnes?
Quite sure.
Henry, have you actually talked to the wretched woman?
I exchanged a few words with her, yes.
Well, perhaps you can persuade her to move. She must see the situation is impossible.
I think that might be rather difficult. I got the impression that she booked in here with the specific intention of seeing Agnes.
You, boy, come here.
Yes, Signora, how can I be of service?
Tell me, do they pay you good wages for the job you do?
The money is poor, Signora, but the tips sometimes can be very good.
Ah, yes, the tips. What would you say to 100 lira?
What would the Signora require of me in order to earn such a gratuity?
Nothing bad. I just want you to help me play a joke.
Signora?
A harmless joke on a friend of mine. You can have no objection to that, surely.
Agnes, my dear, whatever is it?
Oh, Francis. Oh, God, the things I've seen.
Have another sip, my dear.
No, I'm all right.
You're not all right.
I will be in a minute.
Agnes, can you tell us what happened?
It was the room. I had to sleep in a different room.
Why?
There'd been some sort of accident in mine. So they took me to another room. Room 14. I felt uncomfortable in it from the start. I don't know why. It was a perfectly decent, well-furnished room. But there was something about it, something oppressive. Nevertheless, I got into bed, and after a little while I managed to get to sleep. And then, when I woke up...
You! What are you doing here?
It was the Contessa, sitting in a chair opposite the bed, looking straight at me. Except she wasn't looking at me, she was asleep. Either that or she'd fainted.
Wake up! How dare you? How did you get in?
I shouted at her, but she didn't answer. Didn't stir, just went on sitting there.
Leave the room! I'll call for help!
But still, she didn't move. And then... Oh, dear God, I shall never forget it.
Agnes, dear.
No, I'm all right. It was a head. A terrible, human head, floating in the air in the middle of the room. I've never seen anything like it. There was no flesh. The skin was stretched tight over the bones and dark, like the skin of a mummy. The eyes were closed. The lips, oh, horrible blue lips, were pulled back from the teeth in a terrible grin. For a moment it seemed suspended between the floor and the ceiling, and then it started to descend towards me.
Oh, my dear God!
Oh, and then there was this vile smell, like the smell of graveyards, and then the head stopped, moved away from me, moved towards the Contessa as she lay in the chair, and then And then the eyes opened. Ah! The eyes, bright, with the glassy film of death, were fixed on the Contessa with a look of unbearable hatred. And then slowly, they turned back to me.
Oh, my dear.
The head floated across the room towards the chimney place. It turned round and fixed that terrible glance on me one more time, almost as though it was beckoning to me. And then it went into the wall.
And you say this is where the head disappeared?
Just there, at this very spot.
Sounds surprisingly hollow.
Does that mean anything?
Well, there are two possibilities. Either Agnes dreamt the whole thing,
It wasn't a dream. Oh, I only wish it was.
or the thing was trying to tell her something. Draw attention to whatever lies behind this wall. I think we should get hold of the manager. Persuade him by whatever means we can to let us take the plaster down. Ah, Henry.
I've just learnt the most extraordinary thing. I was talking to the servant who made you change rooms last night. I put the fear of God into him and he finally told me the truth.
About what?
There was nothing wrong with your original room. He was paid to trick you into sleeping here last night.
Paid by whom?
By the Contessa. I'm right, aren't I, Henry?
You are.
She wanted me to sleep here last night. She wanted me to see what I saw. I think it was her way of confessing.
Confessing to what?
I shudder to think.
Well, one thing. The misbehaviour of one of his employees might give us a little leeway with the manager.
All right, stand well back. Let's see what we have here.
Signore, perhaps in these circumstances I should be the one.
No. I'd rather see for myself.
Henry?
Just a moment. Go.
Well?
There's a body. Oh. It's a man. It's just about all you can tell. It's rotted away to almost nothing.
Terrible.
Can I see?
No, you most certainly cannot. Stay there. There's no point, anyways. There's nothing anyone could identify him by. Hardly any face, clothing. He must have been there well over a year.
Ah, over a year.
Does that signify?
I was merely thinking, Signore, that the hotel has only been open a few months. Whoever is responsible for this terrible thing, it must have been before that time.
But surely during the rebuilding?
No, Signore. This part of the palace was left unaltered. Some decorating, yes, but the structure was left exactly as it was.
Ferrari.
What? What do you mean?
In his last letter to Emily, Ferrari said Herbert was angry because he could only rent the palace for a few months. It was going to be turned into a hotel. This must be the place.
It's possible, I suppose.
I'm certain of it. I think this is the room in which Herbert died. That's why the Contessa wanted me to sleep here.
Yes, but even so, it doesn't account for the body behind the wall.
Poor Emily.
Emily?
It's Ferrari, I'm sure it is.
Of course, you're right. They put him there.
They?
The Contessa and her so-called brother. Ferrari never walked out without giving notice. They killed him and hid his body behind the wall.
But why?
Because he knew something about Herbert's death. I don't care what the famous Dr. Bruno says. I've always known there was something suspicious about Herbert dying of bronchitis. Ferrari must have found out the truth. And they killed him to shut his mouth.
No, I am sorry, Signore. There can be no doubt at all. I will stake my reputation. Your brother died a natural death.
But couldn't there have been some sort of poison?
No, there is no poison that can imitate the symptoms of bronchitis, and all the symptoms were present.
Symptoms?
Yes. Difficulties in breathing, fever, occasional lapses of the mind.
What do you mean, lapses?
I would speak to him in English, and he would answer in Italian. I would switch to Italian, he would answer in English. It was no matter. Most of the time, he could hardly speak at all.
Go on.
I attended him for 3 days, giving him what medical care I could. For a time, I thought he might rally, but on the 4th day, he contracted severe pneumonia. By the 5th day, he was dead.
Before he died, did he ask you to do anything for him?
Yes, he gave me a letter. He begged me to post it for him. His eyes were full of entreaty, like those of a spaniel.
Do you remember who it was addressed to?
Of course, yes, to a Mrs. Emily Ferrari.
I still can't imagine why he did that, why it was so important.
I do not know, Signore. He said nothing. Now, is there anything else I can help you with?
Yes, actually, Doctor. There is one last question I'd like to ask. You go up and tell the others, Henry. I'll wait here.
Will you be all right?
Yes. I'll sit on the veranda. There's so much to think about.
Oh, I'll be back directly. You're sure you'll be all right?
Quite sure, Henry. Off you go.
Mr. Lockwood.
Oh, yes. What is it?
I have a message for you from the Contessa Naronda. It's a little strange. Perhaps you will understand it.
What did she say?
She said it was time for you to keep your final appointment.
Is she in her room?
No, she said she would wait for you on the Ponte della Paglia.
Where is that?
It is near the Bridge of Sighs, by the Grande Canal.
Ah, yes, I know it. When Mr. Westwick comes back, will you tell him where I've gone?
You will not wait for him?
No. This is a private appointment.
So, you are here at last.
Yes, I'm here.
Beautiful, is it not? The moonlight on the water. I see from your face that you know everything.
I know nothing. I have guessed a great deal. We went to see the doctor who attended Herbert when he was dying. He said something very strange.
And what was that?
He said that in his delirium, Herbert lapsed back and forth between English and Italian. But Herbert knew almost no Italian.
Perhaps he learned it on his travels.
And the doctor said something else. He said when Herbert asked him to post the letter to Mrs. Ferrari, his eyes were full of entreaty, like a spaniel's. It seemed an odd way to think of Herbert. So I asked the doctor one more question.
Yes?
I said, do you mean his eyes were brown, like those of a spaniel? And he said yes. Well, Herbert's eyes were blue. Blue as the sea. It was Ferrari's eyes that were brown. It wasn't Herbert, was it? Who died in that bed? It was Ferrari. You discovered that Ferrari was ill, knew that it was bound to be fatal, and so you found the perfect plan for killing Herbert with impunity. Ferrari would pretend to be Herbert all the time Dr. Bruno was treating him. In exchange, you would care for Ferrari's wife and children to the tune of £1,000. Poor, wretched man. How could he refuse? It's the truth, isn't it?
Why do you even ask? You know everything.
No. I don't know what happened to Herbert. Did he suffer?
Not greatly. It was poison. Something the Baron had found. He put it in his wine. It was painful, but it was over very quickly.
Poor Herbert.
Poor Herbert. He was not a good man. You know that.
He didn't deserve to die like that.
Perhaps not.
And Ferrari, did he know what you'd done?
He knew nothing. Perhaps he guessed. What difference does it make now? Of course, it can be argued that you can prove none of this.
I'm sure if we opened Herbert's coffin, even after all this time, there would be enough discrepancies to prove the body wasn't his.
Good. So there is no escape. You have done what you were always meant to do.
I don't understand you. From the moment we met, when you first looked into my eyes, you said I was your evil angel.
More certainly than I have ever known anything in my life.
Then why did you do it? Were you so weak? Were you so much in the Baron's power, all you had to do was refuse?
Oh, how easy it must be for someone who has lived the life you have to speak of resisting temptation. If you only knew. But never mind, you are right. In the end, we bring our fate on ourselves. You are not to blame. Go now. Your work is finished.
It's strange. I almost want to thank you.
Thank me?
It's as though, by finding out the truth about Herbert, I am finally free of his memory.
Good. Then I have been of some service. Go to your destiny. We shall not meet again. Pray for me.
Agnes! Thank God. I was worried about you.
Oh, there was no need, Henry. I was simply keeping an appointment.
How could you let yourself be alone with that woman, knowing what she's capable of?
It's done now, Henry. It's finished.
Finished? It's only just begun. I'm going straight to the authorities to tell them everything we know. What was that?
Nothing.
Really? I thought I heard...
Perhaps she's found some sort of peace.
What? I don't understand.
Never mind. Henry, would you like to take me home now?
Agnes, you very well know I've been waiting all my life to take you home.
Good. Let's go then, shall we?
In The Haunted Hotel by Wilkie Collins, dramatised for radio by Rod Beecham, Agnes Lockwood was played by Jasmine Hyde, Henry Westwick by Harry Lloyd, Countess Nerona, Adjua Ando, Francis Westwick, Simon Bubb, Susanna Westwick, Catherine Igo, Emily Ferrari, Alex Rivers, Megan, Josie Kidd, Dr. Wybrow, Gerard McDermott, Carstairs, James Lely, and Dr. Bruno by Rod Beecham. Other parts were played by the cast, and the play was directed by Bruce Young.
In addition to his full-length novels, Wilkie Collins was a prolific short story writer. Adapting the tradition of Gothic tales of terror, he wrote ghost stories with a contemporary flavour. Here we present a selection of Wilkie Collins's thrilling tales, beginning with Mad Monckton, which was first written in 1855. This BBC Radio full-cast dramatisation was first broadcast in 1976.
Whether you kill a man in a duel or stab him in the back, the charge against you is the same these days, the charge of murder. The murderer may escape scot-free, the slain man may have deserved death 1,000 times, yet the effect upon his family can only be regarded as disastrous, whatever the circumstances. This I was to discover for myself in the spring of 1858, when I was holidaying in Italy.
Fortune? It is Mr. Fortune, isn't it?
Miss Elmsley, good heavens, what brings you to Naples?
My mother and I are here as guests of Mr. Monckton.
Alfred? He's here too. But this is a most delightful surprise. Well, I hope you'll be my guest for dinner as soon as possible.
Oh, well...
What's the matter? You seem troubled.
May I join you for a moment?
Yes, of course. Please, sit down.
How pretty the gardens are this time of year.
I don't believe it's the gardens you wish to discuss.
How well do you know Alfred, sir?
We're neither bosom friends nor distant acquaintances, ma'am, but something in between. Why?
But he knows you well and trusts you, I believe.
I hope so.
Oh, Mr. Fortune, if ever Alfred needed the help and advice of a friend, that moment is now.
Is he in some kind of trouble?
Let me tell you, in the strictest confidence, that Alfred is dying.
What?
Well, slowly, to be sure, and of no physical malady. But he is dying. And unless he receives help, and quickly, I believe he will be dead long before we can return to England.
When Ada told me she'd met you at the Villa Reale piers, I scarcely believed her at first. Such a coincidence. What are you doing in Naples? The last time we met was at Wincott Abbey.
Yes, indeed. Well, your Uncle Stephen was visiting at the time, I recall.
Uncle Stephen. You met him then? Yes, of course you did.
And if you'll forgive me, he was not a man I should greatly wish to meet a second time.
There's no likelihood of that. Not in this world.
What's the matter? What's caught your attention?
What?
What are you staring at so oddly?
Nothing. Nothing at all. Piers, would you object to sitting in a stronger light?
Of course not. But isn't the reading lamp sufficient?
I must have more light.
As you please. I don't mind.
Would you help me to light some candles? My hands... I find it difficult to stop them from trembling.
What's wrong?
Well, just light the candles, will you?
Do I gather from what you said just now that your Uncle Stephen has died?
His death is the sole reason for my being in Naples.
Oh, really?
You recognized at your one meeting with Stephen Monckton that he was an unpleasant man.
If I'm to be honest, I must confess I found him... I'm sorry, but I found him depraved.
Depraved. I can think of no word more apt to describe him. Yet I need him. Now that he's dead, I need him.
Look, I can see you mean it, but I don't begin to understand you. I mean, why should you need him now when you clearly despised him during his lifetime?
Oh, Piers. There's so much to tell you, so much that is bizarre and terrifying. I scarcely know where to begin.
Well, then tell me first about your uncle.
Very well, then. Since I'm already known as Mad Monckton to almost everyone in Naples, I may as well appear mad to you also.
You don't appear in the least mad to me, but you do look distressed and unwell.
There's a legend connected with Wincott Abbey and the Monckton family. I should like you to read before I proceed any further.
Thank you. This is your handwriting, is it not?
I copied it from the original, written on the blank leaf of the Abbey manuscript. But the legend existed long before that verse came to be written.
When in Wincott vault a place waits for one of Monckton's race, when that one forlorn shall lie graveless under open sky, beggared of 6 feet of earth, though lord of acres from his birth, that shall be a certain sign of the end of Monckton's line, dwindling ever faster, faster, dwindling to the last left master. From mortal ken, from light of day, Monckton's race shall pass away. Now, I'd call this superior doggerel and nothing else.
Doggerel or not, it is being accomplished. I am now the last left master, the last of that elder line of the family at which the prediction points. And the corpse of Stephen Monckton is not in the vaults of Wincott Abbey.
Oh, but you surely can't take this nonsense seriously.
My family has taken it seriously for the last 500 years. Every one of the Monktons was buried in Wincott Vault, no matter at what risk or sacrifice. For centuries,
The succession of the dead in that vault has been unbroken, absolutely unbroken. Until now. The place mentioned in the prediction as waiting to be filled is Stephen Monkton's place. The voice that cries vainly to the earth for shelter is the voice of the dead. You don't believe me, do you? But I swear to you it's true. I swear this because Stephen Monkton stands behind you at this moment, confirming me in my belief. I see. There. The figure of a dark-complexioned man, standing up, with his head uncovered. One of his hands, still clutching a pistol, has fallen to his side. The other presses a bloody handkerchief to his mouth. The spasm of mortal agony convulses his features. Plainly, as if he stood there living, I see him now at your side, with the death glare in his great black eyes. And thus I have seen him, ever since the moment of his death, at home and abroad, waking or sleeping day and night, we're always together, wherever I go.
I promise you, Miss Elmsley, I was never more frightened in my life than I was in that room of Alfred's. His belief in the presence of his uncle was so real that I too felt it. Then and for several hours more.
But what happened afterwards? Oh, it seems that Alfred has not told you the whole story yet.
His description of the prophecy, that wretched poem, had so exhausted him that I realized it might actually impair his health were he to continue the narrative. So I summoned his man. Together we persuaded Alfred to retire for the night. I supervised his taking of a little laudanum, enough to assure him of a good night's sleep, then I left.
So you are still unaware of the peculiar circumstances of Stephen Monkton's death?
I am indeed. But do they have any relevance to the prophecy?
An extreme relevance. Alfred feels he cannot marry me until his uncle is interred in the vault, thereby assuring the continuance of the Monkton line. Well, to inter Stephen Monkton's body, it must first be found. And though Alfred has searched everywhere for 3 months now, he cannot discover it.
But why should it be so appallingly difficult to find Monkton?
He was murdered. In some respects, one might say legally, but he was murdered. Somewhere between Naples and Rome on February 22nd of this year.
What happened, Piers, was this. It seems that my uncle and some equally unscrupulous Frenchman, the Count Saint-Lô, fell out over a gambling debt. Stephen Monkton challenged Saint-Lô to a duel, and it was to be a duel to the death.
They were on Italian soil at the time, Mr. Fortune, and both the Pope and the Neapolitan authorities had recently forbidden duelling. Well, certainly, as far as Naples law was concerned, the survivor of any such duel would be dealt with as if he were a common murderer and executed.
For this reason, Monkton, Saint-Lô and their seconds were obliged to keep their duel a profound secret. In order to avoid Neapolitan legislation, they would fight outside the jurisdiction of Naples in a place agreed amongst themselves.
In the event, the Count Saint-Lô shot Stephen Monkton. He died a few minutes later. Mr. Monkton's second wrote a brief description of the manner of his death on a piece of paper and pinned the paper to Mr. Monkton's topcoat. The body was disposed of, and the remaining members of the escapade vanished.
Well, it's a hideous and perplexing affair, to be sure. But in view of so much detailed evidence, you amaze me that no trace of your uncle has been found. Presumably because of the facts at your disposal, you have confined your inquiries to the Roman territory.
Certainly. The search has been made there and there only. If I can believe the police, they and their agents have inquired for the place where the duel was fought, offering a large reward in my name to the person who can discover it, all along the high road from Naples to Rome.
If you can believe the police? What else have they done?
They've circulated descriptions of the duelists and their seconds, and have attempted to trace the whereabouts of the Count Saint-Lô.
But all these efforts, supposing them to have been really made, have so far proved utterly fruitless. This leads me to believe the police take no great interest in the affair.
You have something in mind, Mr. Fortune?
My belief is that the duel was fought somewhere near the Neapolitan frontier.
Yes.
If I were pursuing the search, I should only have pursued it parallel with the frontier, starting from west to east until I found myself among the lonely places in the mountains. That is my notion. Do you think it worth anything?
I think it an inspiration. We must begin at once, because the police are certainly not to be trusted with it. I shall start myself. Tomorrow.
One moment, Alfred.
What is it?
You must forgive me mentioning this in your presence, Miss Elmsley, but there is one very real practicality to be observed.
What, man, what?
Your uncle has been dead since February the 22nd. It is now late May. However the body was disposed of...
I am certain it was never buried, that it is, in the words of the legend, graveless, under open sky.
Then my caveat becomes even more relevant. Forgive me, Miss Elmsley, but the corpse must now be hideously decomposed. If we find it, how shall it be conveyed back to Wincott?
That's the least of our problems. The moment I received news of my uncle's death, I had a lead-lined coffin prepared. It's here now.
Where?
Not 5 yards away. In my bedroom.
2 days later, our preparations made, Alfred and I left Naples before sunrise, without a soul in the streets to stare at us. You may imagine that I shrank instinctively from looking forward a single day into the future, when I found myself starting in company with Mad Monckton to hunt for the body of a dead duellist. Well, after 3 days we reached the small town of Fondi, high in the mountains, and already I was beginning to regret that Alfred had accompanied me.
I'm sorry. I shall have to rest for a while.
If we're to make any sort of a headway, we must proceed faster, not slower.
I'm exhausted.
But why? We've only been walking for an hour.
I haven't slept. Not for 3 days.
Oh, that's absurd.
It's true. The moment I realized we might be within reach of finding my uncle, he's never ceased to make my nights monstrous with his presence.
You're overindulging your imagination, and it must stop.
You're free. You aren't a Monckton tied to that intolerable abbey and its archaic responsibilities. You can have no conception of what I'm going through.
I know this much. You have in Miss Elmsley a very remarkable, very courageous, and very loyal fiancé. And if you believe more strongly in this creature of your imagination than you do in her, then I suggest we abandon this search at once, and you may resume your communications with Limbo.
But he's here. He's here now. Don't you see him?
Where? Alfred, where? I see a mountain track, I see trees, rocks, a multitude of birds, and nothing else.
Then you are very fortunate. Very well. Let us continue.
Refresh my memory. What did the priest say exactly? Your Italian is so much better than mine.
Well, as you observed, he seemed terrified when I spoke of a dueling party and a dead man, and said he had no idea what I was talking about. When I gave him money for his church, he was prepared to say that there's an old convent up this track, that the Father Superior there might just be able to help.
Might just be able to help? And that's all?
That's all.
How far do you estimate we are from the convent now?
At a guess, perhaps a quarter of an hour's walk away.
It was an hour before we reached the convent, and a more indescribably sinister place I never wished to see. Moss clustered thick in every crevice of the scowling wall that surrounded it. Lank weeds grew from the fissures of roof and parapet. The very cross opposite the entrance gate, with a terrifying life-size figure in wood nailed to it, was so beset at the base with crawling creatures that I absolutely shrank from it.
What an abominable place.
Yes. It seems deserted. Who could possibly live in this squalor?
Do you think that priest was lying?
For money, he'd tell you anything.
So what do we do? I don't think I can bear to stay here much longer.
Nor can I. But since we are here, we must attempt to raise this Father Superior.
If he exists.
If he exists.
Is that a bell rope up there?
Try it.
Oh, this is an awful place.
I hope your pistol is primed. We may have need of weapons here.
You believe we're in danger?
Of this place, I believe anything.
That smell. What is it?
Smell? There is something. Something rank and noisome.
Where's it coming from?
It's from that outhouse, isn't it? Alfred, come here.
What have you found?
This stench is sickening.
I know. But the outhouse has no roof to it. Look, give me a leg up, will you?
What can you see?
Oh, dear God. It's unbelievable.
Piers, get down. Someone's opening the door.
What do you want here?
Whom are we addressing, sir?
My name is Damien. I am the Father Superior of this convent. Why are you here?
We wish to speak to you, Father.
Are you alone?
Quite alone.
There are no women with you?
We are alone, sir.
Then come inside. So, gentlemen, why are you here?
It's a long story, Father Damien.
Alfred, one moment, please. Sir, to my disgust and horror, I find there is an unburied and rotting corpse in the outhouse attached to this convent.
What?
And I believe that corpse to be the body of an English gentleman of rank and fortune who was killed in a duel.
Beggared of 6 feet of earth.
This gentleman is his nephew. We are here to recover the remains, and for that purpose only. Sir, why was the man not given a decent burial?
You spoke of the disgust and horror you felt on seeing his corpse. We too felt disgust and horror that a non-believer should dare to fight a duel within the territory of Holy Church. You stand on consecrated ground, sir, and we are not accustomed to bury the violators of our most sacred laws in consecrated ground. That is all the explanation I think it necessary to give.
Father, was there a paper pinned to the dead man's coat?
There was.
Did it explain his identity and the manner of his death?
It did.
And are you certain that the corpse is indeed that of my uncle, Stephen Monckton, formerly of Wincott Abbey, in the county of Shropshire, England?
That is the inference I have drawn.
Then may we have your permission to remove the corpse? We've made the necessary preparations.
You say you are that wretch's nephew. What proof do you have of this?
I have papers, both with me and at Fondi, which will establish my relationship beyond all doubt.
Then return to Fondi. Satisfy the civil authorities of your claims, and you may remove that sacrilegious object from hallowed ground immediately.
Piers, you've been marvellous. How shall I ever repay you? No brother could have borne with me more affectionately or helped me more patiently than you.
Well, I'm relieved to see a happy outcome to our search. And once we're aboard ship, we should be able to relax at last.
I feel years younger already, centuries younger.
And the spectre? Does it still appear to you? Alfred.
Did I not tell you that it followed me everywhere? We shall part, that phantom and I, when the empty place is filled in Wincott Vault. Then I can stand with Ada before the altar in the Abbey Chapel. And when my eyes meet hers, they will see Stephen Monckton's tortured face, no more.
Within 10 days, the necessary formalities had been looked to, and we were ready to find a ship. Ada Elmsley and her mother set off ahead of us. They would meet us at Wincott Abbey. But we had difficulty in finding a suitable vessel. Eventually, we were obliged to charter one ourselves, a Sicilian brig with a job lot of crewmen and an English skipper. Finally, by mid-June, we put to sea, on a calm and lovely afternoon. The captain and crew were in high spirits, and Alfred was happier than I had ever known him to be. I alone felt heavy at heart. There was no valid reason that I could assign to myself for the melancholy that possessed me, yet I struggled against it in vain.
Mr. Fortune, could I have a word with you, sir?
Yes, of course, Captain. What is it?
There's something wrong among the men up forward. Did you notice how they all suddenly fell silent just before sunset?
Well, now you mention it, I believe I did notice something odd.
Yes, well, there's a Maltese lad aboard, smart as a whip, but a handful to deal with. I've discovered he's been telling the men something fairly unpleasant about that packing case your friend keeps locked in his cabin.
What has he been saying?
That there's a dead body in that case and not a statue.
What could have given him that ridiculous notion?
No idea, sir, he wouldn't say, but I'd advise you to call the crew aft and contradict the boy, whether he speaks the truth or not. The men are a pack of superstitious fools, and they're getting very restive. We shall have trouble, sir, if you don't do as I suggest.
I'm grateful for your concern, Captain Rance, but I have no intention of allowing that young mischief-maker the privilege of hearing me contradict him. And if I may make a suggestion to you, a touch of the rope's end would solve the situation a good deal more satisfactorily.
How much longer can she take this kind of beating?
It was calm not 2 hours ago. What kind of freak storm is this?
Gentlemen, open the door, let me in! The men are blaming this on that damn corpse. They're saying it's a Jonah. They intend to quit the ship.
But can the brig be saved?
No chance. She's broached to and the waves are pounding it to pieces. You'll have to leave everything and make for the longboat.
We must take the case with us.
They'd never let you aboard with it. Now move, gentlemen, now, before we all drown.
Piers, if the brig sinks, the empty place in Wincott Vault will remain empty forever.
Forget that gibberish and come up on deck. Now!
Come. Let me show you the vault.
There's no need, and it can only distress you further.
I want you to see it. I want you to feel with me the power of that damnable legend.
No good will come of this.
Would you refuse me?
I shall come with you, but with the most extreme reluctance. Your life lies outside these vaults, with Ada.
Do you suppose I could marry Ada now? It's out of the question.
She does not seem to be of that opinion.
Ada has never been down here. I would never allow it. Now, are you coming with me?
Very well.
Here sleep all the Monktons but two. Myself and Stephen. See that niche?
Alfred, for heaven's sake, you're being excessively morbid. Let's get out of this charnel house.
If Stephen Monkton's corpse were not lying fathoms beneath the ocean, the coffin would have been placed there.
Keep him away from me.
What?
Keep him away from me. I cannot bear those terrible eyes of his.
Look at him.
One of his hands, still clutching a pistol, has fallen to his side. The other...
Alfred, stop it!
presses a bloody handkerchief to his mouth, and he looks at me with those terrible black eyes. He looks at me. Always at me. Always at me. Ah!
Alfred! Alfred! Dwindling ever faster, faster. Dwindling to the last left master. From mortal ken, from light of day, Monkton's race shall pass away.
Mad Monkton by Wilkie Collins was adapted for radio by Michael Robson. Alfred Monkton was played by John Castle, Piers Fortune by Gary Bond, Ada Elmsley by Sandra Freeman, Damien by Lewis Stringer, and Captain Rounce by Geoffrey Matthews. It was devised and directed by Derek Hoddinott. The Dream Woman was written in 1855. This BBC radio production is read by David Suchet and was first broadcast in 1989.
Some years ago, there lived in the suburbs of a large seaport town on the west coast of England a man in humble circumstances by name Isaac Scatchard. His means of subsistence were derived from any employment that he could get as an ostler. Though a faithful, steady and honest man, he got on badly in his calling. His ill luck was proverbial among his neighbours. With far more than one man's adversity to endure, Isaac had but one consolation to support him, and that was of the dreariest and most negative kind. He had no wife and children to increase his anxieties and add to the bitterness of his various failures in life. When he was out of service, he lived alone with his widowed mother. Mrs. Scatchard was a woman above the average in her lowly station as to capacity and manners, and she always managed to keep a decent home for her son to return to whenever his ill luck drove him out helpless into the world. One bleak autumn, when Isaac was getting on fast towards 40, and when he was, as usual, out of place through no fault of his own, he set forth from his mother's cottage on a long walk inland to a gentleman's seat where he had heard that a stable helper was required. It wanted then but 2 days of his birthday, and Mrs. Scatchard, with her usual fondness, made him promise before he started that he would be back in time to keep that anniversary with her in as festive a way as their poor means would allow. Arriving at his destination too late on the Monday night to make application for the stable helper's place, he slept at the village inn, and in good time on the Tuesday morning presented himself at the gentleman's house to fill the vacant situation. Here again his ill luck pursued him as inexorably as ever. Only the day before, the stable helper's place had been given to another man. Before starting on his homeward walk, he made some inquiries at the inn and ascertained that he might save a few miles on his return by following a new road. Just as it was getting towards dark, the rain came on and the wind began to rise, and he found himself, to make matters worse, in a part of the country with which he was entirely unacquainted. The first house he found to inquire at was a lonely roadside inn standing on the outskirts of a thick wood. The landlord was civil and respectable-looking, and the price he asked for a bed was reasonable enough. Isaac therefore decided on stopping comfortably at the inn for that night. At a little after 11, the house was closed. Isaac went round with the landlord and held the candle while the doors and lower windows were being secured. He noticed with surprise the strength of the bolts and bars and iron-sheathed shutters. "You see, we're rather lonely here," said the landlord. "Now, here's where you're to sleep. You're our only lodger tonight, and I think you'll say my missus has done her best to make you comfortable."
Isaac locked the door, set his candle on the chest of drawers, and wearily got ready for bed. Sleep stole on him before he was aware of it. His eyes closed, and he fell off insensibly to rest without having so much as thought of extinguishing the candle. The first sensation of which he was conscious after sinking into slumber was a strange shivering that ran through him suddenly from head to foot, and a dreadful sinking pain at the heart such as he had never felt before. The shivering only disturbed his slumbers. The pain woke him instantly. In one moment he passed from a state of sleep to a state of wakefulness, his eyes wide open, his mental perceptions cleared on a sudden as if by a miracle. Between the foot of his bed and the closed door, there stood a woman with a knife in her hand, looking at him. She said not a word as they stared each other in the face, but she began to move slowly towards the left-hand side of the bed. His eyes followed her. She was a fair, fine woman, with yellowish flaxen hair and light grey eyes, with a droop in the left eyelid. Speechless, with no expression in her face, with no noise following her footfall, she came closer and closer, stopped, and slowly raised the knife. He laid his right arm over his throat to save it, but as he saw the knife coming down, threw his hand across the bed to the right side and jerked his body over that way just as the knife descended on the mattress within an inch of his shoulder. His eyes fixed on her arm and hand as she slowly drew her knife out of the bed. A white, well-shaped arm, with a pretty down lying lightly over the fair skin. A delicate lady's hand, with the crowning beauty of a pink flush under and round the fingernails. She drew the knife out and passed back again slowly to the foot of the bed, stopped there for a moment looking at him, then came on to the right side of the bed where he now lay. As she approached, she raised the knife again, and he drew himself away to the left side. She struck, as before, right into the mattress with a deliberate downward action of the arm. This time, his eyes wandered from her to the knife.
It was like the large clasp knives which he had often seen labouring men use to cut their bread and bacon with. For the second time she drew the knife out, concealed it in the wide sleeve of her gown, and stopped by the bedside, watching him. For an instant he saw her standing in that position. Then the wick of the spent candle fell over into the socket, the flame diminished to a little blue point, and the room grew dark. Then the wick flamed up, smoking for the last time. The fair woman with the knife was gone. With the dreadful conviction of the reality of what he had seen still strong within him, he leapt out of the bed, screaming, "Murder! Wake up there! Wake up!" and dashed headlong through the darkness to the door. It was fast locked, exactly as he had left it on going to bed. His cries on starting up had alarmed the house. He heard the terrified, confused exclamations of women. He saw the master of the house approaching along the passage with his burning rush candle in one hand and his gun in the other. "What is it?" Isaac could only answer in a whisper. "A woman with a knife in her hand, in my room, a fair, yellow-haired woman. She jabbed at me with a knife twice over." Well, she seems to have missed you twice." "Well, I dodged the knife as it came down. It struck the bed each time." The landlord took his candle into the bedroom immediately. In less than a minute he came out again into the passage in a violent passion. "The devil fly away with you and your woman with a knife. There isn't a mark in the bedclothes anywhere. What do you mean by coming into a man's place and frightening his family out of their wits about a dream?" "Well, I'll leave your house. Better out on the road in rain and dark, on my road home, than back again in that room, after what I've seen in it." They parted without a word on either side. Little did the darkness or the cold or the uncertainty about the way home matter to Isaac. He could make nothing of the mystery, had made nothing of it, even when it was midday on Wednesday, and when he stood at last, after many times missing his road, once more on the doorstep of home. His mother came out eagerly to receive him. His face told her in a moment that something was wrong. "I've lost the place, but that's my luck. I dreamed an ill dream last night, Mother. Or maybe I saw a ghost." And he told her what had passed at the inn. His mother's face grew paler and paler as he went on. She never interrupted him by so much as a single word. But when he had done, she moved her chair close to his, put her arm round his neck, and said to him, "Isaac, you dreamed your ill dream on Wednesday morning. What time was it when you saw the fair woman with the knife in her hand?" "Somewhere about 2 a.m. His mother suddenly quitted her hold of his neck and struck her hands together with a gesture of despair. "This Wednesday is your birthday, Isaac, and 2 a.m. was the time when you were born." Isaac's capacities were not quick enough to catch the infection of his mother's superstitious dread. He was amazed and a little startled also when she suddenly rose from the chair, opened her old writing desk, took pen, ink, and paper, and then said to him, "Your memory is but a poor one, Isaac, and now I'm an old woman, mine's not much better. I want all about this dream of yours to be as well known to both of us years hence as it is now. Tell me over again all you told me a minute ago when you spoke of what the woman with the knife looked like." Isaac obeyed, and marvelled much as his mother set down on paper every detail. She then locked up the paper carefully in her writing desk. Neither on that day, nor on any day after, could her son induce her to return to the matter of the dream. Ere long, Isaac grew weary of attempting to make her break her resolute silence, and time, which sooner or later wears out all things, gradually wore out the impression produced on him by the dream. He began by thinking of it carelessly, and he ended by not thinking of it at all. The result was the more easily brought about by the advent of some important changes for the better in his prospects, which commenced not long after his terrible night's experience at the inn. He got an excellent place, and left it only on the death of his master. Thus it happened that Isaac Scatchard returned to his old mother 7 years after the time of the dream at the inn, with an annual sum of money at his disposal sufficient to keep them both in ease and independence for the rest of their lives. On that day, as the evening drew on, Mrs. Scatchard discovered that a bottle of tonic medicine which she was accustomed to take happened to be empty. Isaac immediately volunteered to go to the chemist's and get it filled again. It was as rainy and bleak an autumn night as on the memorable past occasion when he lost his way and slept at the roadside inn. On going into the chemist's shop, he was passed hurriedly by a poorly dressed woman coming out of it. The glimpse he had of her face struck him, and he looked back after her as she descended the doorsteps. "You're noticing that woman?" said the chemist's apprentice behind the counter. "It's my opinion there's something wrong with her. She's been asking for laudanum to put on a bad tooth. The master's out for half an hour, and I told her I wasn't allowed to sell poison to strangers in his absence. She laughed in a queer way and said she'd come back in half an hour. It's a case of suicide, sir, if ever there was one yet." These words added immeasurably to the sudden interest in the woman Isaac had felt at the first sight of her face. After he had got the medicine bottle filled, he looked about anxiously for her as soon as he was out in the street. She was walking slowly up and down on the opposite side of the road. Isaac crossed over and spoke to her. He asked if she was in any distress. She pointed to her torn shawl, her scanty dress, her crushed, dirty bonnet, then moved under a lamp so as to let the light fall on her stern, pale, but still most beautiful face. Little by little, in answer to his questions, the sad story of the woman came out. There is no need to relate it here. It's told over and over again in police reports and paragraphs about attempted suicides. "My name is Rebecca Murdoch. I have 9p left, and I thought of spending it at the chemist's over the way in securing a passage to the other world." All that Isaac could say in answer to her last reckless words was that he would prevent her from attempting her own life if he followed her about all night to do it. His rough, trembling earnestness seemed to impress her. "No, I won't occasion you that trouble. You have given me a fancy for living by speaking kindly to me. Come to Fuller's Meadow tomorrow at 12, and you will find me alive to answer for myself." The next day, Isaac went to Fuller's Meadow. He had done only right in believing her so implicitly. She was there, punctual to a minute, to answer for herself. The last left faint defences in Isaac's heart against the fascination which a word or look from her began inscrutably to exercise over him sank down and vanished before her for ever on that memorable morning. In less than a month from the time when he first met her, Isaac Scatchard had consented to give Rebecca Murdoch a new interest in existence and a chance of recovering the character she had lost by promising to make her his wife. He announced his marriage engagement precipitately and confusedly to his mother on the day when he contracted it. And poor Mrs. Scatchard showed her perfect confidence in her son by flinging her arms round his neck and giving him joy of having found at last a woman to comfort and care for him after his mother was gone. She was all eagerness to see the woman of her son's choice, and the next day was fixed for the introduction. Punctual to the appointed time, Isaac hurriedly and nervously led his promised wife into the room. His mother rose to receive her, advanced a few steps, smiling, looked Rebecca full in the eyes, and suddenly stopped. "Isaac!" she whispered, clutching him fast by the arm when he asked alarmedly if she was taken ill. "Isaac! Does that woman's face remind you of nothing?" Well, before he could answer, his mother pointed impatiently to her writing desk and gave him the key. "Open it and give me the paper in the left-hand drawer. Quick, quick, for heaven's sake!" Isaac gave her the paper. Something like fear began to steal over Rebecca's face. Mad! And Isaac never told me. With these few words, she left the room. Isaac was hastening after her when his mother turned and stopped his farther progress. light grey eyes, she said, pointing towards the open door. A droop in the left eyelid, flaxen hair with a gold-yellow streak in it, white arms with a down upon them, little lady's hand with a reddish look under the fingernails. The dream woman, Isaac, the dream woman. Oh, be warned, oh, my son, be warned. Isaac, Isaac, let her go, and do you stop with me. Something darkened the parlour window as those words were said. A sudden chill ran through him, and he glanced sidelong at the shadow. Rebecca Murdoch had come back. She was peering in curiously at them over the low window blind. "No, I've promised to marry, Mother, and marry I must." 3 weeks after that day, Isaac and Rebecca were man and wife. All that was hopelessly dogged and stubborn in the man's moral nature seemed to have closed round his fatal passion and to have fixed it unassailably in his heart. After some quiet months of married life, as the summer was ending and the year was getting on towards the month of his birthday, Isaac found his wife altering towards him. She grew sullen and contemptuous. She formed acquaintances of the most dangerous kind in defiance of his objections, his entreaties, and his commands. And, worst of all, she learned ere long, after every fresh difference with her husband, to seek the deadly self-oblivion of drink. His mother was the first to notice the sad alteration in him, and the first to hear of his last worst trouble with his wife. Her health was failing fast, and greatly deteriorated after seeing that the knife which her son's wife used to cut the bread exactly corresponded to the knife in the dream. Within a few weeks, she had breathed her last. Isaac was present at her death, and her last words in this world were addressed to him. "Don't go back, my son. Don't go back." Well, he was obliged to go back, if it were only to watch his wife. Exasperated to the last degree by his distrust of her, she had revengefully sought to add a sting to his grief during the last days of his mother's illness by declaring that she would assert her right to attend the funeral. In spite of all that he could do or say, she held with wicked pertinacity to her word, and on the day appointed for the burial forced herself, inflamed and shameless with drink, into her husband's presence and declared that she would walk in the funeral procession to his mother's grave. This last worst outrage, accompanied by all that was most insulting in word and look, maddened him for the moment. He struck her. The instant the blow was dealt, he repented it. "No man has ever struck me twice, and my husband shall have no second opportunity. Set the door open and let me go. From this day forth we see each other no more." Before he could answer, she passed him and left the house. He saw her walk up the street. Would she return? All that night he watched and waited, but no footstep came near the house. The next night, overpowered by fatigue, he lay down in bed in his clothes, with the door locked, the key on the table, and the candle burning. His slumber was not disturbed. The third night, the fourth, the sixth passed, and nothing happened. He lay down on the seventh, still in his clothes, still with the door locked, the key on the table, and the candle burning, but easier in his mind. Easier in his mind, and in perfect health of body, when he fell off to sleep. But his rest was disturbed. He woke twice, without any sensation of uneasiness. But the third time, it was that never-to-be-forgotten shivering of the night at the lonely inn, that dreadful sinking pain at the heart, which once more aroused him in an instant. His eyes opened towards the left-hand side of the bed, and there stood the dream woman again? No. His wife. The living reality, with the dream spectre's face in the dream spectre's attitude, the fair arm up, the knife clasped in the delicate white hand. He sprang upon her almost at the instant of seeing her, and yet not quickly enough to prevent her from hiding the knife. Without a word from him, without a cry from her, he pinioned her in a chair. With one hand he felt up her sleeve, and there, where the dream woman had hidden the knife, his wife had hidden it, the knife with the buckhorn handle that looked like new. In the despair of that fearful moment, his brain was steady, his heart was calm. He looked at her fixedly with a knife in his hand and said these last words. "You told me we should see each other no more, and you have come back. It is my turn now to go, and to go forever. I say that we shall see each other no more, and my word shall not be broken." He left her and set forth into the night. The distant church clocks chimed the quarter as he walked rapidly beyond the last houses in the suburb. He asked the first policeman he met what hour that was of which the quarter had just struck. The man referred sleepily to his watch and answered, 2 o'clock. 2 in the morning. What day of the month was this day that had just begun? He reckoned it up from the date of his mother's funeral. The fatal parallel was complete. It was his birthday. Had he escaped the mortal peril which his dream foretold, or had he only received a second warning? When he ventured back to the house, a picklock lay on the floor, betraying how she had gained entrance in the night, and that was the only trace of her, the one last useless trace of the dream woman. Since that time, Isaac himself has the one perpetual thought about her, that she is alive and looking for him. He wouldn't let himself drop off to sleep towards 2 in the morning for a king's ransom. 2 in the morning, he says, is the time she will find him, one of these days. 2 in the morning is the time, all the year round, when he likes to be certain he has got that knife safe about him. "She's looking for me," is all he says when anybody speaks to him about the one anxiety of his life. "She's looking for me." Well, he may be right. She may be looking for him. Who can tell? Who can tell?
The Dream Woman by Wilkie Collins was adapted by Michael Bakewell. It was read by David Suchet and produced by Rosemary Hart. The Bite a Bit was written in 1858. This BBC radio production is read by John Rowe and was first broadcast in 1989.
From Chief Inspector Theakstone of the Detective Police to Sergeant Bulmer of the same force. London, the 4th of July. Sergeant Bulmer, the matter of the robbery on which you are now engaged, you will please to shift over to the young man who brings you this letter. You will tell him all the circumstances of the case, you will put him up to the progress you have made towards detecting the person or persons by whom the money has been stolen, and you will leave him to make the best he can of the matter now in your hands. So much for the orders that I am desired to communicate to you. A word in your ear next about this new man who is to take your place. His name is Matthew Sharpin. You will naturally ask me how he comes by this privilege. I can only tell you that he has some uncommonly strong interest to back him in certain high quarters, which you and I had better not mention except under our breaths. I put you up to this, Sergeant, so that you may not stand in your own light by giving the new man any cause to complain of you at headquarters. And remain yours, Francis Theakstone.
From Mr. Matthew Sharpin to Chief Inspector Theakstone. Sir, my first duty is to draw up a full statement of the instructions I have received from Sergeant Bulmer. Here they are, at your service according to my version of them. number 13 Rutherford Street, Soho, there is a stationer's shop. It is kept by one Mr. Yatman. Besides Mr. and Mrs. Yatman, the other inmates in the house are a young single man named J, who lodges in the front room on the second floor, a shopman, who sleeps in one of the attics, and a servant of all work, whose bed is in the back kitchen. Mr. Yatman has been in business for many years, carrying on his affairs prosperously enough for a person in his position. Unfortunately for himself, he endeavoured to increase the amount of his property by speculating. He ventured boldly in his investments, luck went against him, and rather less than 2 years ago he found himself a poor man again. All that was saved out of the wreck of his property was the sum of £200. This sum was placed as a deposit in a joint stock bank of the highest possible character. 8 days ago, Mr. Yatman and his lodger, Mr. J, held a conversation on the subject of the commercial difficulties which are hampering trade at the present time. Mr. J told his landlord that he had been in the city and had heard unfavourable rumours on the subject of the joint stock banks. This intelligence had such an effect on Mr. Yatman's mind, predisposed as it was to alarm by the experience of his former losses, that he resolved to go at once to the bank and withdraw his deposit. He brought the money back in an envelope and asked his shopman to look for a small, flat, tin cash box, which had not been used for years, and which, as Mr. Yatman remembered it, was exactly of the right size to hold the banknotes. For some time the cash-box was searched for in vain. Mr. Yatman called to his wife to know if she had any idea where it was. The question was overheard by the servant of all work, who was taking up the tea-tray at the time, and by Mr. J, who was coming downstairs on his way out to the theatre. Ultimately, the cash-box was found. Mr. Yatman placed the banknotes in it, secured them by a padlock, and put the box in his coat pocket. At 11 o'clock he went to bed and put the cash-box along with his clothes on a chair by the bedside. When he and his wife woke the next morning, the box was gone. So far, the circumstances of the case are perfectly clear. They point unmistakably to the conclusion that the robbery must have been committed by some person living in the house. Suspicion falls, therefore, upon the servant of all work, upon the shopman, and upon Mr. J. The bedroom in question is the back room on the first floor. In consequence of Mrs. Yatman's constitutional nervousness on the subject of fire, her husband has never been accustomed to lock the door. Both he and his wife are, by their own admission, heavy sleepers. Consequently, the risk to be run by any evil-disposed persons wishing to plunder the bedroom was of the most trifling kind. Such are the circumstances as they were related to Sergeant Bulmer when he was first called in to discover the guilty parties. After a week's painstaking investigation, he was satisfied that there was no sound cause for suspicion against either the servant or the shopman. That leaves only the lodger, Mr. J, who has not paid his rent for the last month. This is the plan that I have adopted, with the full approval of Mr. and Mrs. Yatman, for discovering whether Mr. J is or is not the person who has stolen the cash-box. I propose today to present myself at the house in the character of a young man who is looking for lodgings. The back room on the second floor will be shown to me as the room to let, and I shall establish myself there tonight. By this means I shall be living next to the room occupied by Mr. J. By observing him closely when he is in his rooms, and by following him closely whenever he goes out, I believe I may look forward to the discovery of his secret, as to a dead certainty. I remain your obedient servant, Matthew Sharpin. The 7th of July. I am now comfortably established next door to Mr. J. The partition between us is mere lath and plaster. In this partition I have made 2 holes. One I call my peep-hole, and the other my pipe-hole. The name of the first explains itself. The name of the second refers to a small tin pipe or tube inserted in the hole and twisted so that the mouth of it comes close to my ear while I am standing at my post of observation. Thus, while I am looking at Mr. J through my peephole, I can hear every word that may be spoken in his room through my pipe-hole. Perfect candour, a virtue which I have possessed from my childhood, compels me to acknowledge, before I go any further, that the ingenious notion of adding a pipe-hole to my peephole originated with Mrs. Yatman. This lady, a most intelligent and accomplished person, simple and yet distinguished in her manners, has entered into all my little plans with an enthusiasm and intelligence which I cannot too highly praise. I may be wrong, she said to me, but I felt hopeful of success as soon as you entered the house, and I believe if the wretch who has robbed us is to be found, you are the man to discover him. Let me now return to business. I have enjoyed some hours of calm observation of Mr. J. I have to report that he rose at a late hour this morning, always a bad sign in a young man, and that he lost a great deal of time after he was up in yawning and complaining to himself of headache. But in half an hour's time he put on his hat and walked out. Of course, I put on my hat and walked out also. He walked straight to the nearest tavern and ordered a couple of mutton chops for his dinner. I placed myself in the next box to him. Before I had been in the room a minute, a young man of highly suspicious manners and appearance, sitting at a table opposite, took his glass of porter in his hand and joined Mr. J. I pretended to be reading the newspaper and listened with all my might. "Jack has been inquiring after you," says the young man. "Did he leave any message?" asks Mr. J. "Yes," said the other. "He told me, if I met with you, to say that he wished very particularly to see you tonight, and that he would give you a look-in at Rutherford Street at 7 o'clock. "All right," says Mr. J. "I'll get back in time to see him." By 7 o'clock I was back at my observatory post in the house. Mrs. Yatman had been kind enough to undertake to search Mr. J.'s room while he was out of the way, but on my return she shook her head and sighed. "Don't despair, ma'am," I said. "I expect great things of my peephole and pipe-hole tonight." As the hour struck 7 o'clock, the person described as Jack walked in. I am happy to say he looked violently agitated. The cheerful glow of anticipated success diffused itself all over me. "What's the matter now, Jack?" says Mr. J. "Can't you see it in my face?" says Jack. "My dear fellow, delays are dangerous. Let us have done with suspense and risk it the day after tomorrow." "So soon as that?" cried Mr. J., looking very much astonished. "Well, I'm ready if you are. But I say, Jack, is somebody else ready too?" He smiled as he spoke, a frightful smile, and laid a very strong emphasis on those two words, somebody else. There is evidently a third ruffian, a nameless desperado, concerned in the business. "Meet us tomorrow," says Jack, "and judge for yourself. Be in the Regent's Park at 11 in the morning, and look out for us at the turning that leads to the Avenue Road." With those words he went out. What is the natural conclusion to draw from the conversation which I have just set down? Evidently that the Confederates meet tomorrow to take their respective shares in the stolen money. Mr. J. is, beyond a doubt, the leading criminal in this business. I shall therefore make it my business to follow him at the Regent's Park tomorrow, and doing my best to hear what is said there. In the meantime, I shall want the immediate assistance of two competent persons, supposing the rascals separate after their meeting, to follow the two minor criminals. The 8th of July. I have to acknowledge with thanks the speedy arrival of my two subordinates, men of very average abilities, I'm afraid, but fortunately I shall always be on the spot to direct them. My first business this morning was necessarily to prevent mistakes by accounting to Mr. and Mrs. Yatman for the presence of two strangers on the scene. Mr. Yatman, between ourselves a poor, feeble man, only shook his head and groaned. Mrs. Yatman, that superior woman, favoured me with a charming look of intelligence. I privately winked at her. "Oh, Mr. Sharpin," she said, "your sending for their assistance looks as if you were beginning to be doubtful of success." "It is because I am sure of success, ma'am," said I, "that I send for them. I am determined to recover the money, not for my own sake only, but for Mr. Yatman's sake, and for yours." "Oh, Mr. Sharpin," she said again, and blushed of a heavenly red, and looked down at her work. I could go to the world's end with that woman, if Mr. Yatman would only die. I sent off the two subordinates to wait at the Avenue Road gate of the Regent's Park. Half an hour afterwards, I was following in the same direction myself, at the heels of Mr. J. The two confederates were punctual to the appointed time, I blush to record it, but it is nevertheless necessary to state that the third rogue, the nameless desperado of my report, or, if you prefer it, the mysterious somebody else, is a woman, and what is worse, a young woman, and what is more lamentable still, a nice-looking woman. The man named Jack offered the woman his arm. Mr. J. placed himself on the other side of her. The three then walked away slowly among the trees. I followed them at a respectable distance. Then I heard Jack address these words to Mr. J. "Let us say 10:30 tomorrow morning, and mind you come in a cab." They then separated, and I followed Mr. J. back to his lodgings. Early the next morning I was at my accustomed place by my peephole. Mr. J. was occupied in dressing himself, and was taking extraordinary pains to destroy all traces of the natural slovenliness of his appearance. This was precisely what I expected. A vagabond like Mr. J. knows the importance of giving himself a respectable look when he is going to run the risk of changing stolen banknotes. At 10 he was in the street, on his way to the nearest cab stand, and I and my subordinates were close on his heels. He took a cab, and we took a cab. We followed them for some 5 minutes before my subordinates both grinned and said, "Please to look out, sir." I did look out. The thieves' cab had stopped. Where? At a church door. What effect this discovery might have had upon the ordinary run of men, I don't know. Being of a strong religious turn myself, it filled me with horror. I have often read of the unprincipled cunning of criminal persons, but I never before heard of 3 thieves attempting to double on their pursuers by entering a church. We stole up to the gallery stairs, diverged to the organ loft, and peered through the curtains in front. There they were, all 3, incredible as it may appear, sitting in a pew below. Before I could determine what to do, a clergyman made his appearance from the vestry door, followed by a clerk. My brain whirled, and my eyesight grew dim. The clergyman placed himself inside the altar rails. The 3 desperadoes approached him. He opened his book and began to read. What, you will ask? I answer, without the slightest hesitation, the first lines of the marriage service. My subordinate had the audacity to stuff his pocket handkerchief into his mouth. After I had discovered that the man Jack was the bridegroom, and the man J acted the part of the father and gave away the bride, I left the church. As soon as I and my subordinates were assembled together outside, I intimated my intention of still following the other cab in spite of what had occurred. The 2 subordinates were astonished at my resolution. One of them had the impertinence to say to me, "If you please, sir, who is it that we are after? A man who has stolen money, or a man who has stolen a wife?" When the marriage ceremony was over, the 3 got into their cab. we followed them to the terminus of the South Western Railway. The newly married couple took tickets for Richmond, and I saw Mr. J safely home. I have only one word more to add, and it is this. If an individual ventures to assert that Mr. J and his confederates are innocent of all share in the stealing of the cash box, I, in return, defy that individual, though he may even be Chief Inspector Theakstone himself, to tell me who has committed the robbery at Rutherford Street, Soho. I have the honour to be your very obedient servant, Matthew Sharpin.
From Sergeant Bulmer to Chief Inspector Theakstone, London, July the 10th. Inspector Theakstone, your letter and enclosure came safe to hand. Wise men, they say, may always learn something, even from a fool. By the time I'd got through Sharpin's maundering report of his own folly, I saw my way clear enough to the end of the Rutherford Street case. In half an hour's time, I was at the house. The first person I saw there was Mr. Sharpin himself. "Have you come to help me?" says he. "Not exactly," says I. "I've come to tell you that you are suspended till further notice." "Very good," says he, not taken down by so much as a single peg in his own estimation. "I thought you would be jealous of me. It's very natural, and I don't blame you. Walk in, pray, and make yourself at home. I'm off to do a little detective business on my own account in the neighbourhood of the Regent's Park." With those words he took himself out of the way, which was exactly what I wanted him to do. I went straightway to see Mr. Yatman. "About this matter of the robbery, sir," says I. "You've come to tell me that your wonderfully clever man who has bored holes in my second-floor partition has made a mistake and is off the scent of the scoundrel who has stolen my money," says he. "Yes, sir, that is one of the things I came to tell you." "Can you tell me who the thief is?" "Yes, sir, I think I can." "Not my shopman?" "Guess again, sir," says I. "That idle slut, the maid?" "She is idle, sir," says I, "and she is also a slut. My first inquiries about her proved as much as that, but she's not the thief." "Then, in the name of heaven, who is?" "Will you please to prepare yourself for a very disagreeable surprise, sir." He turned as pale as ashes and pushed his chair 2 or 3 feet away from me. "Your wife has taken it." He jumped out of the chair as if I'd put a knife into him. "It's a lie," says he. "A base, vile, infamous lie." He stopped and fell back into the chair again, looking about him in a bewildered way, and ended up bursting out crying. "When your better sense comes back to you, sir," says I, "I'm sure you will be gentleman enough to make an apology for the language you have just used. In the meantime, please to listen, if you can, to a word of explanation. Mr. Sharpin has sent in a report to our inspector. In most cases such a document would have been fit for the waste-paper basket, but in this particular case it so happens that Mr. Sharpin's budget of nonsense leads to a certain conclusion. Mrs. Yatman has been practising upon the folly and conceit of this young man, and has tried to shield herself from discovery by purposely encouraging him to suspect the wrong persons. I will undertake to give a decided opinion as to why Mrs. Yatman took the money, and what she has done with it. Nobody can look at that lady, sir, without being struck by the great taste and beauty of her dress." Finding his powers of speech again, Mr. Yatman cut me short directly, as haughtily as if he had been a duke instead of a stationer. "Try some other means of justifying your vile calumny against my wife. Her milliner's bill for the past year is on my file of receipted accounts at this moment." "Excuse me, sir," says I, "but that proves nothing. A married lady who wishes it can keep 2 accounts at her milliner's. One is the account which her husband sees and pays. The other is the private account which contains all the extravagant items, and which the wife pays secretly by instalments, mostly squeezed out of the housekeeping money. In your case, I suspect no instalments have been paid, proceedings have been threatened, Mrs. Yatman, knowing your altered circumstances, has felt herself driven into a corner, and she has paid her private account out of your cash box. I won't believe it. Every word you speak is an abominable insult to me and to my wife. Are you man enough, sir, says I, to get that receipted bill you spoke of and come with me at once to the milliner's shop where Mrs. Yatman deals? He turned red in the face at that, got the bill directly, and put on his hat. Arrived at the milliner's, one of the expensive West End houses, as I expected, I asked for a private interview with the mistress of the concern. The books were brought, and 1 minute's look at the pages in which Mrs. Yatman's name figured was enough, and more than enough, to prove the truth of every word I had spoken. After that, I thought it best to get Mr. Yatman out of the house immediately. He was in such a pitiable condition that I called a cab and accompanied him home in it. Whether Mrs. Yatman will come cleverly out of the scrape or not seems doubtful. I should say myself that she will go into screeching hysterics and so frighten the poor man into forgiving her. But this is no business of ours. So far as we are concerned, the case is now at an end. I remain, accordingly, yours to command, Thomas Bulmer. P.S. I have to add that on leaving Rutherford Street I met Mr. Matthew Sharpin. "When may I pay you a compliment on finding the thief?" says he. "Whenever you like," says I, "for the thief is found." Just what I expected. I've done all the work, and now you cut in and claim the credit. Mr. J, of course. "No," says I. "Who is it, then?" "Ask Mrs. Yatman. She's waiting to tell you." It has been discovered that he left the house 5 minutes after this interview, his left cheek displaying a bright patch of red, which might have been the result of a slap on the face from a female hand. Nothing more has been heard of him, and it is conjectured that he has left London with the intention of offering his valuable services to the provincial police.
The Biter Bit by Wilkie Collins was adapted by Michael Bakewell. It was read by John Rowe and produced by Rosemary Hart.